Man, welcome back to another edition of Monday Night Smoke, where we talk about a lot of things. We share facts, archaeology to the people regarding the so-called Native American, so-called gypsies that are scattered abroad to the four corners of the earth. We are the Israelites. We are the Hebrew Israelites according to all of it: history, archaeology, chronology, and so on and so forth. So our people are the Israelites, and so on and so forth. But a lot of things are going on. Welcome back to the Ancient Watchmen. Shout out to all the ancient, all the watchmen and watchwomen out there, keeping an eye on all of the things that are going on in the planet, on Earth, on politics, and so on and so forth. Yeah, man, there's a lot of things going on in the world. I just heard that there was these massive mothership in Mexico, bro. I don't know if your brothers heard of it, but they capture like this massive saucer-shaped mothership, bro. Almost the size of Texas in Mexico, close to Guadalajara, Jalisco. You know what I'm saying? So there's been a lot of sightings of UFOs. UFOs means unidentified flying object, and obviously a lot of these UFOs, a lot of these objects that are not identified by no government tells you that they're not from this plane of reality, right? They're not from here. Because even I saw a video. When was it? Like 2 weeks ago of I think it was in Iran. I think it was in Iran, where actually they shot missiles at these objects, and the objects were never touched. It's almost like as if they had like some sort of force field around them, and so on and so forth. So it's pretty interesting, And not only that, but it's also interesting the fact that the what is it called? The Pentagon came out and basically confessed that the UFOs are real, and so on and so forth. And they disclose three top secret cases where the Air Force was pursuing these objects out in the sea. And when the pilots of the Air Force of the United States basically saw these objects, they were mesmerized. They were like, "What the hell is going on? Why are they're not behaving like a regular plane, like one of the human-made airplanes, and so on and so forth." They were, basically violating the laws of physics and so on and so forth, moving at a high speeds, doing, 90-degree angle turns, so on and so forth, at massive amounts of G-force. I think it was 30 G-force, so on and so forth. But yeah, so there's a lot of sightings of UFOs on the planet, man, and it has to do with a prophecy too. We're not gonna talk about that today, but maybe another day we'll touch on the visitations of these, so-called extraterrestrials, which in reality, they're basically the angels, because anything that's not of this planet is considered what? An extraterrestrial, meaning you're not from this earth. You're not from Terra, because the word Terra means earth. Extraterrestrial, right? Extra means that you're not from here. You're from another extra dimension, or an extra place, or somewhere else other than this planet. That's why they call it extraterrestrials. So angels themselves are considered what? To be extraterrestrial, because they're not from this plane of existence, so on and so forth. And so a lot of the scientists are saying that I think Jack Vallée, he was one of the top scientists back in the day. He's the one that created the Blue Book Project, and so on and so forth, where they were able to pinpoint over 5,000 or more cases, or 10,000 cases, that have strong evidence of these beings basically presenting themselves to humanity back in the 1940s, all the way to the 1900s, and so on and so forth. And then we're still seeing those things out today. So, Shalwan, welcome to the live. Let me see. Um, Shalom, shalom. Welcome to the live. I don't know if you brothers are able to hear me, but welcome to the live. I'm gonna share the link in the chat group in the comment section for brothers to join in a little bit later. So stick around. Welcome to the live. Let me see. MH, Shalom, brother, Shalom. Setnam Custom Finishes LLC, Shalom. Welcome to the live. I share the link in the comment section. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. All right, so yeah, so I was saying, there's a lot of things going on in the world. Let me see.
Shalom.
All right, Shalom. And how do I do these, man? Okay, there it is, right there. And then what do I do here? No, okay. All right, Shalom, everybody. Welcome to the live. Give us a minute. We're trying to readjust ourselves to this new platform here. Give me a minute. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live.
Yep. Just here feeding the baby.
Right. Okay, I can't figure it out, man. I don't know how I did it earlier. Share your screen with mine. Let me see. Okay, there.
There you go. Oh, you had it.
Okay, let me see. How do I did it? Okay. Like that?
Yeah, yours is, yeah. I have to see both of us, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Let me see.
Yeah, but I hear you a lot clearer,
Okay,
man. There you go.
much
there you
better?
go.
Yeah. All right. Shalom, everybody. Shalom. Welcome to the live, man. We're trying this new platform so we can do our lives, so we can voice our voices, sound our trumpets out in the world, brothers to hear and listen, and so on and so forth. But yeah, man, a lot of things going on in the world, especially with these fires that are going on in California and so on and so forth. And obviously, there is, the conspiracy theorists never sleep. You know what I'm saying? A lot of conspiracy theorists have been saying a lot of things about the fires in LA. Saying that a lot of the fires were basically created by laser weaponry done by the government, because you have a lot of car rims that are basically melted. You know what I'm saying? So
Cold in winter at the seaside, you keep moving.
My fault.
yeah, man. All right, so I guess your daughter wants to be in the live too. I mean, we can let her talk. Shalom, everybody. Shalom. Yeah, so I was saying, so yeah, the fires, man, there's a lot of things going on, and it's not, I don't think it's far fetched to say that, it's a little bit of the prejudgments of the Mossad, because you guys got to keep an eye on what's going on, right, with this whole pedophilia. Remember, I think California was one of the states that basically is trying to, I think they already passed a bill basically legalizing pedophilia, meaning that if you rape a baby or you rape a 7-year-old and whatever the like, it's not necessarily a crime. You know what I'm saying? So
Well,
so
I think actually it's like it's a age group. Meaning, if the person is within 10 years, you don't have to register as a sex offender. Basically, if you're basically a 20-year-old who has sex with a 11-year-old, you will get jail time. But when you get out of jail, you don't have to register as a sex offender.
wow, that's crazy, bro. So they're basically gonna allow these folks basically to repeat their offense. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be repeat offenders. Yeah, because they really never have like some sort of accountability. Like, oh shit, I'm a sex offender and whatever the like. So if I get out and I do this shit again, they don't feel it. They're not gonna feel the repercussions and so on and so forth. But in the light of what I was saying is that a lot of these fires are basically like a prejudgment on Babylon. Remember, because ancient Babylon was exactly burned up, just like future daughter of Babylon is going to be, which is this place, aka a spiritual Egypt, spiritual Rome, this place. So what we're seeing, is not, and these fires are basically they I think they burned up at least 3.3 million acres, bro, of land and so on and so forth. I think it's been like 30 people have died, and obviously not to mention all the little animals, all the sentient beings fleeing out of the forest into the cities, so on and so forth. So brothers that live in LA, I hope you guys brothers are safe. I know Trujillo lives over there, among other brothers like Ceci, Cecilia Lopez, and all other sisters like I think Hannah Yahawara lives over there too. So a lot of brothers live over there. Hope you brothers are safe. And also, like, if you see animals like visiting your backyard, don't shoot them. Give them water, bro. Put some water out. They need our help. They need the love and the kindness of humanity nowadays, because their homes are being burned up. But
Yep, leave some buckets of waters out. Yeah,
uh,
yeah, leave buckets of waters out. That's what these people should do. At
yeah,
nighttime, just leave buckets of water out, man, for deers
yeah,
and all animals that are trying to escape.
yeah, man. Imagine, like, and a lot of people don't understand. Like in the Hebrew, when you go into the Hebrew, the word nafesh or nafash, it basically means soul. And when you use that word, when the Bible uses that word in the Hebrew, it's always referring to two kinds of beings: animals and human beings, beast, right? So a lot of these beasts, a lot of these animals that you see, lions, giraffes, rhinoceros, elephants, deer, so on and so forth, dogs, cats. These beings, bro, they have a soul. They have feelings. They cry. They have a language. It's just that you don't understand their language because you're not the same kind. But among themselves, they can understand each other out. They have feelings. They have emotion. They have pain. They suffer. They cry. You know what I'm saying? This is why when you go to the zoos, bro, you have a lot of these wild animals, like a lion. You can see like a bunch of tears coming out of their eyes, bro. Because imagine you being in cage for like years, like decades, right? Not knowing that you are a free wild animal to be soaring out in the plains of Africa and different lands of the forests of this planet, and for you to be caged like an animal. Imagine how they feel now. Imagine how our people feel, like the ones that are in cages today, in ICE institutions by immigration and so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? So all these fires, bro, reminds me of what we're gonna go into today. And I'm gonna start with First Peter, chapter 4, verse 12, down to 14. Right? Let me see. Shalom, everybody. Welcome to the live. Thanks for being here. Shalom, everybody. Shalom. All right, I'm gonna read out. First Peter, chapter 4, verse 12. It says, "Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial." You see. Now we're gonna go into that because a lot of brothers, when they read the scripture right here, you think it's talking about symbolizing the adversities and trials, which is true. But when you actually go into the history of this passage right here during the times of Peter, you had Nero. Now Nero Nero was basically a Roman emperor, right? that was basically he's the one that wanted to change Rome. He wanted to reform all Rome, reconstruct Rome, and so on and so forth. So he took his plans to the Senate, and the Senate basically shut him down. It's like, no, you can't destroy Rome, leave Rome as it is, so on and so forth. And so he felt some type of way, and then it was all planned out because he's the one that basically started all the fires of Rome. And then you have this thing called the candlesticks of Christianity, right? Which is basically that a lot of early Christians were basically burned up by fire, literally by Nero himself in his gardens, and so on and so forth. So imagine like the persecution of the church back in those days during the times of Nero. Now Nero, I was saying that Nero was the one that basically began these fires because the Senate didn't approve for his plans to reconstruct and rebuild Rome, basically do a remodeling of Rome, and the Senate didn't approve. So he went ahead and started these fires, and then he later on basically blamed the Christians. Like, you see, the Christian Jews, the Jews, the sect of the Jews in Christ, they did that. I didn't do it; they did it. And so a lot of innocent Jews a lot of our people were basically captured by the Roman armies and so on and so forth, and they were basically punished and they were put burned alive in the gardens of Nero, right? And obviously, we know that Nero is the one that he used to put Christians during the gladiator matches, and he will basically feed the Christians to the lions and put to death for spectators during the times of Rome, at the times of Nero, and so on and so forth. So that's basically what kind of reminded me with these fires, and we, like, brothers, gotta understand, like, the concept of control by the government, especially America, because America is another face of Rome, spiritually speaking. You know what I'm saying? So if you brothers been to what's it called, Washington D.C., bro, you will see a lot of the Roman buildings, and you have the Corinthian style buildings and pillars and so on and so forth there. So we know that this place is Rome. And so when you brothers understand the similarities in the spiritual context of this place, you'll understand that these riots that happened like months ago, like 2-3 months ago, they were also done by the government. They were also done by the government in order to deflect from the subject matter at hand, which is what? The pedophilia and the sex trafficking of thousands and thousands of children for many decades, so on and so forth, by different people in power and CEOs and politicians and so on and so forth. So this thing goes deep, just like they say, the rabbit hole goes deeper than you and I think and imagine. So that's what kind of made me think about these fires, that it's basically a prelude, of what's gonna happen in the future when this place is gonna get burned up, so on and so forth. So we're gonna read. We're gonna do another event that happened back in the days of our nation during the times of Nebuchadnezzar, right? And it all has to do with fires, because fire basically is an element of purification and so on and so forth. So the earth has to be purified, just like America has to be purified by blood, with blood, just like Torah says, Let's see, where are we? Jeremiah 21:10. All right, so we're gonna read Jeremiah 21:10. All right, so Jeremiah 21:10, it says, "For I have set my face against this city for evil, and not for good, say the Lord. It shall be given into the hand of the king of Babylon, and he shall burn it with fire." You see, he shall burn it with fire. So we know that Babylon came and invaded Jerusalem, and later on burned it up, and it was left desolate. And this is one of the arguments of these Yahudim, always talking about when was talking about the desolation of Israel and so on and so forth, when the desolation of Israel has happened many times over during the times of the Syrians, during the times of the Babylonians, during the times of the Greeks, during the time of the Romans, and so on and so forth. So the land of Jerusalem has always been left desolate by various nations. So what is Yahudim talking about? You know what I'm saying? So we already addressed that with him many times over on the boards and so on and so forth. So Jeremiah 32:29, it says, all right, it says, and the Chaldeans that fight against this city shall come and set fire on this city and burn it with the houses upon whose roofs they have offered incense unto Baal and pour out drink offerings unto other gods to provoke me to anger. You see? So we know that we read it out of the book, what is it? 2 Kings 25:8 and 10. We're going to go there because it actually gives you the date when, what's it called? Nebuchadnezzar came and burned up the city of Jerusalem. And this is one of the arguments that we have against, what's his name? Um, what's his name? Garfield. Garfield is the one that's basically running his mouth, saying that the Bible is off, that that the 12 tribes never existed, that everything that the Bible talks about when it comes to the historical part of it, which is what we're reading a part of it right now, the time of Nebuchadnezzar, that it never existed, right? But we know throughout the archaeology that what we're reading is basically what transpired back in those days. So yeah, the Bible is an archaeological historical books as well. And this is the problem with a lot of these comedics that they have against the Bible, saying that the Bible is not a historical book when in fact it is. So Jeremiah 39:8. I'm gonna read Jeremiah 39:8. It says, and the Chaldeans burned the king's house and the houses of the people with fire and break down the walls of Jerusalem. You see that? So our house, Jerusalem, has been burned up by fire, just like Babylon is burning right now, which is basically a prelude of what's getting ready to happen. So let's go to 2 Kings chapter 25, verse 8. And then we're going to get the actual date when the king Nebuchadnezzar invaded the land of Jerusalem. 2 Kings chapter 25, verse 8 and 10, it says, and in the 5th month, on the 7th day of the month, which is the 19th year of the king Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came Nebuzaradan, captain of the guard, a servant of the king of Babylon, unto Jerusalem. Verse 9, and he burned the house of the Lord, and the king's house, and all the houses of Jerusalem, and every great man's house burned he with fire. You see? So what we read earlier about Nero burning our people alive in his garden back in those days is what happened when we read in First Peter again. I'm gonna go back to it. First Peter chapter 4 verse 12, it says, "Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fire trial, which is to try you as though some strange thing happened unto you." Because back in those days, this was actually happening to our people. Our people were being put through the fire. It was basically the greatest test. Our people were being put sacrifice to the god, Baktu, or whatever god the Romans had, and so on and so forth. So, so the fires, that's basically the fires that we read out, that we're reading in the news, that we're watching in the news, and so on and so forth. But I'm gonna touch on the last verse, and then we're gonna open it up for brothers that want to talk about stuff. Let me see. I found it. All right. So let's go to Revelations 18, chapter verse 8. It says, "Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord God who judgeth her." You see. So this is basically the judgment that is pending for Babylon the Great, aka spiritual Egypt, aka you know, America, and so on and so forth. So that's basically the judgments against her according to the Messiah, not according to us. You know, 'cause we're now wishing dead onto America and so on and so forth, because we read it out in the past in the scriptures that when a nation basically repented of their evils and so on and so forth, the Messiah basically pull away his hand of judgments against that nation and so on and so forth. So, you know, we'll see what happens. But Shalom. Vega, you there, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, what happened? Remember that you and I were at that live video with Judah, and then you were bringing out Ezekiel 47, and then
Yeah.
you were about to bring a second scripture. But remember that cat that we were dealing with? Like, he didn't want to get the fact that
Yeah.
Leviticus 25, it has nothing to do with Ezekiel 47. It has nothing to do at all. Remember
Yeah,
that?
I know. Yeah.
What happened? Because I couldn't join after.
Um, Nothing. Everybody in the panel was just correcting him, and of course he couldn't. He still couldn't take correction. He ended up popping off and stuff.
Right. But yeah, man, it's crazy.
Yeah, but that one those those folk clowns have been making back to back videos, like getting off of context. They can't even like break down scripture right, man. Like I can't wait till I get off of Facebook.
Jail.
Jail. Yeah, I'm gonna kick that guy so far in his throat, man.
Yeah, but
It's
that's the thing, man.
funny.
These cats, that's the thing, bro. A lot of these cats, they like to run their mouths, right? And
You
then
know they had,
when we finish our lives, bro, it's when, every time we finish our lives, you have a lot of these cats basically go into our comment section on our videos, and they start talking a lot of shit when we're not paying attention, when we can't address it. We are able to see those comments like 2-3 days later, and then we address it then. But it's kind of funny that a lot of these cats don't have the balls, right, to come and talk to us right here, right here, right, when we're live, not when we finish our live
all
and
they're
we
gonna
post it
do,
up.
bro. All they're gonna do is just is go on their racist rants. Oh, you spics are not suffering the curses and blah blah blah. You Mexicanos, you light skinned people. That's all they're gonna come with, man. You know, that's all they can say. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
he was saying a bunch of silly stuff, bro. Like I said, they have to stay with the KJV, and I'm going to show it again. You know what I'm saying? Because he was trying to debunk our Songs of Solomon's breakdown of one and
Wow.
five, and was it the four? Solomon's four about the
Hmm.
woman having goat's hair. Man, I'm telling you, bro. If they keep sticking to the KJV, they're gonna get their head rocked. You know what I'm saying?
Let
Because
him, bro.
yeah, I am gonna get them because I'm like, yo. At the end of the day, all translations don't even say none of that stuff that the KJV says, especially about the locks. Oh, they have locks in their hair. That's no, bro. You go to any of the Septuagints, Dead Sea Scrolls, they don't say anything about no damn locks. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And I'm gonna make them choke on their KJV like I always do. I'm gonna take all
Bro,
like I
bro.
usually do. I'm gonna take all Africa out of the curses because if you guys subscribe to the KJV so bad, and that's the word of the Most High to you guys, then you guys are taking yourself out of the curses. You know how I
Bro,
do.
bro, I know, bro, but check this out, right? It's funny. Oh man, um, I fucking lost my train of thought, bro. But
I think somebody wanted to come in.
Oh yeah, yeah, I got it. So it's funny that the brothers say that. Oh, when they talk about the
Hey,
logs,
bro.
right? The logs. When they talk about the logs of Solomon, when you go into the Hebrew, actually the word sizits, the tassels that we wear, the actual tassels, not the fringes, right? The actual tassels. When you actually break that word down, bro, it actually means twisted, as in like braids of hair, like the braids that a woman have, like the three-way braided hair. That's basically what it's talking about, because it's making a reference to how the tassels basically symbolize life itself, and it also symbolizes the DNA within ourselves, which is life itself. So, the tassels, when you go into the Hebrew, tassels, that's what it means. It means basically DNA. It also means the flower of life, because when you grab DNA, because DNA is basically a two helix, right? It's a two helix that is basically, when you look it up from above, and you turn it around, like making it go in revolutions, it will create a flower of life. And that's basically what a lot of the sacred geometry comes from. That sacred geometry points back to life itself and the DNA coding of humanity, and that's basically what it means. The whole thing about logs has nothing to do with logs, like as they portray it to be. No, it has to do with life. It's symbolizing life itself, because the las trenzas, basically that's what we call them. Trenzas means braids. Yeah, that's basically what our people have always had. Native Americans carry that shit, men and women. Our women, Native American women, indigenous in South America, Mexico, and all the way down, they all rock that thing. They rock the braids. That's basically what it goes into. In the Greek, it goes, and in the Hebrew, it goes into braids, and then braids goes into tassels, and tassels goes into the flower of life, which is the DNA, which is basically the double helix, which looks like this. It's like an interwoven lines, three lines, right? Which has four amino acids, which is the blocks of life, so on and so forth. So that's what it means. It's nothing. These brothers don't have their understanding is basically, what they learn from a lot of these one ways. That's the problem. That's when people follow man. When people follow man, they follow limited knowledge, and so on and so forth, because
Yeah,
they themselves can't tap into it.
yeah. It's funny because you heard that guy Rob Rack, right?
Yeah, yeah.
He teaches that basically all 12 tribes are mamzers. He teaches
Hmm.
that Ephraim, Manasseh, and all of them are just mamzers.
I
It's like
know.
these brothers have no understanding of the Torah. They should just leave the book alone. It's really sad. You know what I'm saying?
It is. And now, mind you, these brothers basically, um, these brothers that you're mentioning, they were strong in the Torah before. They were part of Torah Nights, I guess. Some of them, they
Hmm.
were rocked with Quana and Judah and Natsara, but I mean, it goes back to the spirit at the end of the day.
Yeah, I guess someone's trying to get in. Someone that they said that they know you from Instagram.
Oh, Amo, Shalom, Jeremiah, Issachar, Shalom, brother. Yeah, the
Shalom.
link.
Ben Cueva,
Yeah,
Shalom.
yeah, Shalom, everybody. I'm not able to see the comments because I'm using a different thing. So,
It actually shows it.
oh, it does. Yeah, it does. Okay. Yeah, I see it now. Sinai, Judean, Shalom. Sinai, Judean, I'm gonna bring you in. Ephraim, Shalom, brother, Shalom.
Ben
Bro,
Cueva, Shalom. Lord willing, Shalom.
yeah, 144 soldados israelitas sellados. Yeah, that's the name right there. Yeah, Shalom, soldados israelitas. Shalom, bro. Hey, brothers, if you brothers wanna come in and speak your piece, Amo, Shalom. Click on the link in the description, comment section, and then I'll bring you in. I don't know if you brothers can see it. Just scroll up and you'll see the link. If not, I'm gonna post it again.
Yep. But that shit's crazy that's going on in California, man. The sky is red from all the fire burning.
Oh,
You
bro, it
know,
looks like it looks Photoshop.
Yeah. Hey, did you see that video I sent on that chat where it talks about the you have like some scholars trying to back up pedophilia, trying to say it's that we should accept pedophiles and stuff.
Yeah, man, I'm not surprised. I mean, shit, that's basically what they're trying to move towards.
Yeah.
Mm,
They sure are. They're trying to do it hardcore, man.
bro, imagine, bro. I mean, imagine our children. You know what I'm saying? Mm, the things that they're gonna learn in school. It's crazy. This is why I suggest everybody start getting ready to homeschool your children, bro. It's better to homeschool your children because you basically protect them from the elements out there, the shit that is happening in the school system, all the brainwashing that takes place in the school system. Imagine uh, they don't teach you no trade skills in schools. They don't teach you none of that stuff. They don't teach you about finance. They don't teach you none of that stuff. They only brainwash individuals to basically prepare them like a bunch of zombies for the system that be, the powers that be, the grid, this enslavement system right here on this planet. That's basically what a lot of this, when they go to school. That's basically what happens. You become you are created as a slave. Your mind is molded. Your imagination power is basically taken away because now it all has to do with memorization. You're just memorizing shit. You're not really learning anything, bro. You're not exercising your brain at full capacity. You know, this is why you have a lot of zombies, dummies in school, in the school system, so on and so forth. You know, this is
Yep.
why a lot of even like a lot of people from China and Japan, they basically excel a lot of these American children in mathematics and all in other aspects. So on and so forth. Even myself, when I came to the United States, bro, I was basically excelling in like chemistry. I won a competition with all the schools on chemistry and how to do chemistry equations and all this other stuff, bro, and so on and so forth. But even so, like all the school systems on the planet, bro, they're the same thing. It's the same curriculum, bro, to brainwash the children into becoming zombies to work for the corporation of the whole world. That's it. It's a slaving system, bro. It's no education. There's nothing educational about schools. Yeah, they give you a degree because congratulations, you passed the test of being brainwashed and to our curriculum to brainwash into the system. Yeah, good job. Here's your diploma. You are a slave. Boom. You see? Where is your trade? What do you know? You know how to build anything? You know how to build a house? You know how to build this and that and the third? You know how to build furniture, so on and so forth. That's the things that your brothers we're supposed to be striving for. You know what I'm saying? Like me, see, I'm living in the wilderness right here. You see? You see? You see? I'm learning how to survive out in the wild with no electricity, no running water, so on and so forth, and the light. And mm, this is what happened with our people back in the day when our people came out of Egypt and they basically wandered in the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights. What do you think they were doing? You don't think they knew how to build shit? You don't think they knew how to do this and that and the third? Being in Egypt? Obviously, some of them didn't, because that's exactly why they were complaining to Moses all the time. Oh, why did you bring us out of our comfort zone? We were fine over there, man. Why would you brought us here to die? So on and so forth. And they were complaining. They could never leave Egypt. And that's basically the mentality of our people today. In a lot of these ex-campers and a lot of these campers, they can never leave Egypt. They can never leave these camps. They can never leave these ideologies. They can never free themselves from the bondage and the chains, the spiritual chains in the minds of from a lot of these doctrines from One West and their Hermetic doctrines. Why? Because they're still brainwashed. They're still linked back to Egypt, back to bondage. You know what I'm saying? So we have to free ourselves from Egypt, go into the wilderness, and that's where we let go. We let go of everything that we think we know, and so on and so forth, and these ideologies, and so on and so forth. Everything, all from scratch. You got to return to zero, be born again. And that's what Christ was calling Nicodemus. Hey, you got to born again. Nicodemus, being a Pharisee, he couldn't understand those concepts. It's like, What do you mean? Am I supposed to go back to my mother's womb again? What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing today. We tell a lot of you brothers, you gotta learn how to be born again. You gotta learn how to tap into the source. You gotta learn how to use your spiritual man in order to connect with the Father, in order to connect with Source, in order to connect to Mother Earth. I mean, Mother Earth, Father God, Mother Goddess, and and so on and so forth. The Elohim, the Alahayim, right? Weren't we created by them, right? Weren't we created by our parents, the Alahayim? So if we have parents, then we need to connect with them, and the connection does not happen with ink and pages, right? These, because just like we read in the epistles or Peter or Paul, whatever, he said that the letter kills. The letter kills, but the spirit revives, right? The spirit revives. So, and that's basically the teaching that Christ came to give us when he spoke about John chapter, what is it, 14 verse 26, when he said, hey, when I go to the Father, when I go back to the source, I'm going to send the Holy Spirit, and she will teach you all things and bring all things to your remembrance.
Remembrance. Yep.
To your remembrance. Why? Because we've forgotten. Everybody has forgotten. This is why we're going back to, oh, well, brother, you're not keeping, you don't keep, the tabernacles. You're not keeping the Passover. You're not keeping these, and then so on and so forth, right? And just like we stated time and time again, that a lot of our people back in ancient times, they were keeping the commandments in the land, and yet they were taken away captive. So the law never saved us. A lot of the greatest example will be Daniel. Daniel was keeping the commandments, yet he was taken as a slave and became the servant of the king, and so on and so forth in Babylon. Same with his brothers, Midrash, Abednego, and I forgot the other name. So a lot of Judah, a lot of our people were taken as and captives, even though they were keeping the commandments. So the whole awakening of our people, the fire that is going on, is the purifying fire that is going to elevate us and take away all the impurities that we've learned here in Babylon the Great, and all the doctrines that we learn, all sorts of doctrines and winds of doctrines and wines that
Yep.
are sitting on the table. You know what I'm saying?
And back to what you were saying about the schools, right? This is why I'm homeschooling my kids. You know what I'm saying? They're being
Yeah,
homeschooled.
boy.
Especially in these scary times. You know what I'm saying? They have like, trans people going in reading to your kids. I see this video of this grandfather who went into a school and basically was cursing out the teacher because the teacher was putting his grandson in a dress in school.
Damn.
So think about this, right? Remember, we got this whole scary COVID-19 going on, right? So what are you people willing to do, right? If one day you send your child to school, right, and the teacher gives him a temperature test, and he's ill, and the teacher asks, "Oh, do you have trouble breathing?" And your child says yes, and that teacher basically calls the ambulance to take your child away. You all know what happens, right? When you have COVID-19, you're not allowed to go to the hospital. You have to be separate. You have to be separate. You can't visit the people who have COVID or anything like that, right? So you're giving power to these teachers who can take your kids away and put them in a hospital. Talk about they have COVID-19, and then you're driving to pick them up to school, and all of a sudden, hey, where's my child? Oh, by the way, your child was sick, and we had to send it to the ambulance. And then you're like, what? And then you try to go to the hospital, and they're not letting you allow you to see your child. And then they end up try to take away your child. What happened if your child passes away in the care of the hospital? That's why it's always like Ayash is saying, is always good. Ayash, you left? Oh, don't tell me he has the same problem with this new program too, man. This is crazy. But what are you guys willing to do?
You there, bro? Shalom.
You can hear me?
Can you hear me or not?
Yeah, I can hear you. You can hear me?
Yeah. One? Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. Let me see. Uh,
What happened?
I
I guess you went off
don't
for a
know.
second.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, man. The whole thing.
Okay,
Oh,
there.
there it is.
Yeah, you can hear me?
All right. Yeah, man. So yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. So yeah, man. There's a lot of things going on, you know, and I want to talk about the mask, the whole mask idea, right? Think about it. The whole mask, bro. The whole mask. It has a psychological effect on people. Think about it. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you why. I'm gonna show you why. Watch this, right? Watch. Watch. So I have this mask on, right? Obviously, I don't wear it all the way to my nose, right? Because I don't want to be breathing out my own carbon dioxide when I exhale out, right? Inhale and exhale. When we exhale what? Carbon dioxide, right? So whenever you wear your mask, you don't have to wear it all the way to the nose, where you're basically blocking all the carbon dioxide that you're breathing out. You have to let it out, right? Now, the other point that I want to make is now think about this, right? Now, I'm not saying that this is true, but think about it. What if the writers of the Bible in Revelations 13, where it says that no one could buy or sell unless they had the mark of the beast, right? What if instead of saying the mark, it's actually saying a mask of the beast? Because literally, you can't buy or sell unless you have a mask in your face today. Think about it. Now, what is the spiritual and psychological repercussions of you wearing a mask all the time? What does that symbolize? It symbolizes you compliant. This is your compliance. This is brothers, this is people out in the world that are fucking sick of this shit saying it's like you get out of your house, right? You got your keys, you got your cell phone, you got your wallet, and you go to the car. And the next thing you know, you're like, you forgot what? You forgot the fucking mask, right? So now you go back to the house and grab a mask. Why? Because the government is using these little object right here. It's a psychological test. This is a game. This is a fucking game. A fucking game. This is a fucking game. You know why? Because the whole concept of masking your face is basically you're cutting interactions with other humans. You're basically robbing your own personality because the face shows what? Your smile, right? Your facial expression, so on and so forth. So by putting a mask on yourself, you're basically robbing people's personalities. But not only that, you're accustomed people, you're making people used to wearing a mask, so that then when the actual mark of the beast comes, you will already have a mind of complicity. You're compliant. You won't fight it. There will be no fighting within yourself anymore. Why? Because you already comply. You already gave your personality away. You already gave your laughter away. You already gave your health away, because all these months you breathing your own carbon fucking dioxide is basically messing with your immune system. And so forget that, right? Think about the repercussions that are going to take place in the future, where this whole idea of the masking everybody on the planet is basically becoming a norm. And that norm is going to translate when they actually bring out the vaccination, and when they actually bring the fucking nanobots that are going to take over your fucking system, your DNA coding, and it is going to transform you from the inside out, and you will not be the same. And this is how it begins, the compliance for people. You're not saying shit. I've gotten into fights with like stores, gas stations, so on and so forth. I spill their fucking coffee on the counter. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? So brothers think I'm just a big mouth, loud on the net, on Facebook, and so on and so forth. No, bro, I'm the same way in real life. You know what I'm saying? So I've gotten into arguments with people and so on and so forth about this whole shit. because it has to do with our freedoms, bro. Our freedoms. Now, mind you, prophecy is going to go forward regardless, and that prophecy goes into what the mark of the beast is going to be established on the planet, whether we like it or not. It's going to be established, and this is why a lot of people are they now. I don't want to sound like a doomsday guy, or this is not the channel for that, but we have to be prepared. This is why a lot of brothers have to start looking into survival mode skills. You got to start learning these skills, because once the fan hits the fan, or whatever the fuck, how you say it, when that thing comes and is real, are you gonna be ready, or are we gonna be ready, or are we ready enough, and so on and so forth. So brothers got to start thinking about these moves, because it's gonna come a time, just like it came down when the times when Rome invaded. When all the Roman emperors invaded Jerusalem, beginning of the 60 AD. What is it now? 60? Yeah, 60, 58, all the way down to 68 AD, when all the Roman emperors invaded Jerusalem. All the Claudius dynasties of the Romans invaded Jerusalem. Guess what was happening? Even Christ said, listen, when you see the abomination of desolation coming into the holy temple, your mind, run to the hills. Run. Now, you brothers gotta do your own research, and find the mountains areas, find where water is at, so on and so forth, and be ready for that. I'm not saying it's gonna happen next year. We're not prophets here. We're not prophesying falsely like a lot of these cats are, but we're just saying, be aware. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, you could drop the link, I guess. Moses Hernandez has questions, he says.
Yeah, Moises Hernandez, Shalom, brother. Hey, the link is in the description area, bro. Click on it again. I'll bring you in. Click on it again. Yes.
Exactly.
Yep. Be ready, stay ready. Exactly.
Exactly. He said, "Hey, are you not wearing the mask?"
Yeah, I barely wear the mask, bro. I don't like that shit, bro. A lot of people are sick of it. I know. I understand. You know what I'm saying? And so, I'm gonna read this book, bro, because in this book it actually explains like the aspects of controlling humanity through various means and mediums, right? And that includes TV. Let's see. Okay, I see you, brother. Hold on, I'm gonna bring you in. All right, brother. Shalom, are you there?
Shalom, how you doing?
What's going on, brother? What is your name?
My name is Moises.
Moises. Shalom, brother. Are you the brother from Instagram or what?
Yes, sir. I've been trying to reach on talk on you. Oh, I had any questions?
Okay. Shoot, bro. What is your question, man? Welcome to the live, man.
Yes,
You know, what is your story? Like, what is your background? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm 24. My name is Moises Hernandez.
Uh-huh.
I just came to the truth about soon, like 3 years ago. But it's from these camps, these West camps, and I've been doing a lot of research, a lot of research, and it seems like the Fope de Iglesia de los Latis, I can't pronounce it right, but they started before the West camps, and all these West camps are saying that if you're not dark skinned or you don't have their hair, you're not considered an Israelite, and that sucks, you know, because like they make their image of themselves to be worshipped and all that. I don't know, man.
Right.
I'm young, and I really want to be safe and do the right thing.
That's cool.
I haven't ate pork. I don't watch pornography no more. To be honest, I stay away from all that stuff and try to be as pure as possible. So, thank you.
Right. Exactly. And so, yeah, and so that's basically why we're here. And this is basically what a watchman is supposed to be doing. A watchman is the job of a watchman is to watch over the horizon, because the word watchman goes into that. When you go into the Hebrew, it goes to peer into the horizon, to look far away and see what is going on. And Jose Vega and I, and many other brothers and sisters, have peered into the horizon, and we have been able to see and dissect a lot of these doctrines from One West to be a bunch of lies, to be a bunch of doctrines that were man-made back in the 1960s by Rabbi Matthew and Rabbi Ford, which began their whole ideology of black supremacy, Pan-Africanist ideologies, and they injected those ideologies into our book, therefore corrupting what our book teaches, and so on and so forth. So, in the light of what I just said, what are your questions? What is it that you want to ask us?
My question is, are we descendants of Moabites, or like who are we? I'm trying to figure out who am I. Most importantly.
You said Moabites?
Yeah, I've been going to YouTube channels a lot, and people, these so-called black men are calling us Moabites. We're descended from them. And, it's just a lot of misinformation. But again, I'm young, and I really want to do the best that I can, so I can teach my wife and my future family.
Yeah. Well, we're not Moabites. We're actually Shemites. Obviously, Moabites are also Shemites themselves. The white man is also a nation of Shemites. Arabs are Shemites. Hindu people are Shemites. Assyrians are Shemites. So on and so forth. So we're all Shemites, but the only difference is that our people are actually the Hebrew Israelites. The other nations are also Hebrews because they descend from Eber. You know, many nations descend from Eber or Shem, so they're Shemitic too. But we're actually the only Shemitic Hebrew Israelites of the Bible, God's chosen people. So a lot of these cats claiming that they're the Israelites, the West Africans are Israelites, well, they're not Israelites at all. They don't fit the curses. Our people fit the curses, so on and so forth. And a lot of the One West doctrines or One West camps, they only hold for dear life to the transatlantic slave trade. That's the only thing they hold on to for life. But again, Jose Vega and I, we've been saying that the West Africans are not the only nation that were scattered in slavery by ships. There's many nations that were scattered all throughout the world by ships: the Canaanites, the Egyptians, the Elamites, the Cushites, our nation, the Greeks, and so on and so forth. Even the white men, the Irish, were basically put on slavery ships, and so on and so forth. The whites were basically enslaved during slavery during the times of the Moors back in Europe and the whole world, so on and so forth. So, being on slave ships is not a denominator for you claiming to be Israel, because again, we can name many nations that have gone into slavery via ships. You know what I'm saying? So, West Africans don't fit the curses, so on and so forth. I mean, we can go over the scriptures time and time again. But we're not Moabites. We're actually the Hebrew Israelites, just like the Gypsies are, just like our indigenous people are, like Native Americans, and so on and so forth. The evidence weighs heavier on our side. We have thousands of books. We have thousands of archaeology regarding that, and so on and so forth. And obviously, we know that a lot of Hamites lived amongst us back in ancient times, pre-colonial times, meaning before the Spaniards came on this side of the world in 1492. Our people were already mixing in with a lot of Hamites, a lot of Sidonians, and this is part of prophecy that we find in the book of Joshua, chapter 3, 1 and 6, when it tells you that the Most High left them amongst us to be a test for ourselves, to train us in the wars of Canaan, because you and I were never part of those wars. So that's basically why they're amongst us. And obviously, a lot of these Hamites, West Africans, claim to be suffering. They claim they always complain that they're going through this and going through that and this and that and the third. But when we read Genesis 9:25, it tells you that Canaan, which was one of the sons of Ham, right, was cursed to be the lowest of all slaves on the planet. Not only that, but they were also cursed to serve all nations on the planet. And this is why we see the West Africans of the 1600 slave trade fulfilling their curse at a collective level, all the nations that they are, which is 11 nations or 7 nations that we read in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 7, 1 and 3. So West Africans are the Canaanites that were cursed to be the lowest of slaves, and they were cursed to be servant of servants, meaning the lowest of slaves unto all the nations. This is why you find them in Belize. This is why you find them in South America. This is why you find them in Puerto Rico. This is why you find them in India. They call themselves the cities, which are basically short for Sidonians, right? So you find them in various countries all over the world. Why? Because they're the lowest of slaves. They're the cursed people that were cursed to be the lowest of slaves. Canaan. That's what they are. Now, obviously, back in the 1960s, they were learning doctrines under the white men. We actually have a class on that. I don't know if you watched it already, but we have a beautiful class where we broke that down. We show the receipt, we show the information, we show the record, we show the history of how these One West Hamitic camps began back in the 1960s, learning under the white man, Judaic customs, Judaism, and that's how they came to be. Later on, they separated themselves and started creating their own thing, not knowing that there was a great awakening in South America happening 20 years, 15 to 20 years prior to One West being quote unquote woken up, or knowing that they're the Israelites, even though we already brought out the facts that a lot of these West Africans are basically a bunch of converts that converted to Judea customs even way back, going back to the 1400s, and so on and so forth. And if you want, we can actually provide the sources. We can read the books right now, and so on and so forth. So I'm gonna have Jose bring some information out if he wants to. Other than that, like
Yeah,
if
it's
you
okay.
want, we can actually read scriptures. We can actually read history books. We can actually read articles. I mean, you
Matter
name.
of fact, let's address the first two things he said. Right? He said that the cancer's been telling him that he doesn't have the right hair texture or the right you said color.
Yes,
Color,
sir.
yeah.
But I watched your video.
Oh,
I watched your video explaining that they were covered throughout black, but they were wearing wool. The color wool black. I'm sorry, my English is not that good. But they were wearing wool that was colored black. That's what it meant, not the actual skin. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
no.
the cones, the skin of goats, which was black, which was the skin code of goats in order to put yourself in a mourning, in a state of mourning, which
Yes.
is basically you put that cloth on, which is basically coarse. It's very uncomfortable to wear because it's goat skin, and then you put a bunch of ashes on top of your head, so you become all rashy and all like discomfort and all these other things because you're mourning. You're in a process of discomfort because your spirit is in a state of discomfort and unbalance, and that's basically what it means to be dark, to be black. To kodar means to be in a state of mourning. It has nothing to do with when these a lot of these lion snakes from One West Hamitic camps, they say or use the scripture in Jeremiah 14:2. Oh, the Jews are black onto the ground. You see, bring that out.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
see that a
come,
lot.
come. Yeah, you see that a lot in all this camp saying, see, Jeremiah 42 is the proof that the Jews are black. Cut, and then brothers
Yeah,
unlearned, are people that are unlearned. They run with that lie. See, wow, the Jews are really black. The fuck,
Yeah, that's what
and
I
so they get lied
thought.
for years. You know what I'm saying? They get lied, not knowing that when you go into the Hebrew, the word kadar means to be
morning.
ashy, to turn into state of mourning, because the Jews were going through a state of mourning. Their cities were being destroyed. Their people were being
It
burned
was
up
burned
alive
down.
by the Babylonians, just like we read earlier. In the year 539 BC, Nebuchadnezzar invaded Jerusalem and burned everything up to the ground. And guess what our people were doing? They were in a state of mourning. They were not rejoicing. So that's what it means to be in a state of blackness, of mourning. You're suffering. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So that scripture, among other scriptures, like Lamentations 5:10, Job 30:30, so on and so forth, Revelations 1:14 and 15, Song of Solomon 1, 2, and 5 and 6, so on and so forth. And the list goes on. All the scriptures are not saying what these brothers are teaching or saying. They're lying to the people. They're lying to themselves. They're lying to their own people. And this is why we read in Deuteronomy chapter 37 that our people rose up in order to basically step on all their high places and destroy them. Shah.
Oh,
Shah
okay.
means to destroy.
Oh, so that being said, then who am I? You know what I mean? I'm so-called Mexican, but am I technically called a native? And if that being said, then what tribe am I? Because people say that I'm either northern
We
or
don't.
southern.
Well, we don't teach tribalism. At the end of the day, if you know that you're a child of God, then that's what you know. No one can take that away from you. You understand that? But to prove that, I know you have a lot of these so-called Canaanites, vexing your spirit, right? So we do have lessons, right? So if I was you, just subscribe to Ancient Watchmen, and we have classes. You don't have to really watch our lives because they're pretty long, like 3 hours or
No,
something
I
like
watched
that.
them.
But we do have classes like 20 minutes, 30 minutes long, and stuff like that. But when they try to tell you about your hair texture, you have to understand this, right? King David did not have what you call woolly or nappy hair. King David has straight hair. Okay? And the proof of that is in the book of, and you should write this down, brother. The proof of that is in 1 Samuel's chapter 19. Matter of fact, if any brother has the scripture, Yash, you have
Yeah,
the
I'll read
the
for you, bro.
resource.
I'll read. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's go show the brothers and sisters how King David actually had straight hair. Now the question becomes: if King David was from the tribe of right, do Negro men grow straight hair? That's the question.
No.
No, they do not. King Solomon's hair was said to be curly. All right. This is why the brothers need to get rid of that KJV. What people don't understand is this, right? The KJV was written when? 1611, right? What was going on in 1611? The transatlantic slave trade, slavery, people being shipped on boats, right?
Wait, did
So
you
you have
say
to start
1611?
thinking,
Sorry.
yeah, the 1611, yeah, the 1611 King James, right?
Wasn't that considered the Dark Ages?
Well, to the white man, they would consider that the Renaissance. This is when the white man became back in power.
All right. Sorry.
The 1400s, yeah, I believe the 1400s and prior, that's what they considered the Dark Ages, because that's when basically the dark people was ruling Europe, meaning the Moors, Elam and things of that nature,
Yes.
right? Okay, but the reason why, this is what people don't understand, the KJV is trash, in my opinion, with a lot of its translations. It makes the Negro man think that they're the people, right? Because you see the word like wool in there, you see the words black in there, and things of that nature. But when you go to older manuscripts, like the Dead Sea Scrolls or the Septuagint, and again, people don't understand, the Septuagint is like 2,000 years before the King James 1611. It goes back to almost like 400 BC, right? You're not going to find the words black in there. You're not going to see the words lock, all this stuff. You're not going to see none of that stuff. But right now, we're going to show you and prove to you that King David basically has straight hair. We all know that Negro men do not grow straight hair. So the next time you see one of these Canaanites, because again, and the reason why we call, again, not all Negroes are Canaanites. You have a lot of Negroes who have a humble spirit, but the ones who like to boast in their flesh or merchants, those are the Canaanites. You see what I'm so much?
Oh, the ones that are lying, bro.
Jews is black. Huh? I'm sorry. What you said?
Yeah, or the ones that are lying because or the ones that are lying because
Or the ones you catch
we
lying.
read,
Yeah.
what is it? Zechariah 3. There was Zechariah chapter 3, verse 13. It tells you that the remnant of Israel, right? It actually gives you the DNA of our nation. It says the remnant of Israel nor a deceitful mouth shall be found in their mouths, right? So that's basically how you identify Israel. If you see an Israelite saying, I'm an Israelite, but they're lying on the scriptures, they're adding on to Torah, so on and so forth, then wait a minute. The scripture says that the remnant of Israel shall not speak lies, nor a deceitful tongue shall be found in their mouths. So if these brothers are lying, what does that make them? Non-Israelites, heathens,
Just like the
twisting
Christian
our book.
church. Yeah.
Now, don't be surprised because there's been various nations that have that want to be our nation, that want to be Israel, so on and so forth. You got the so-called blacks, you have the so-called white men, you have Chinese people, and so on and so forth. Now, mind you, we are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, and so on and so forth. So our people are everywhere. But just like the scripture says, we're a speckled bird, right? We're a nation of various different ethnicities, 12 ethnicities, if you want to call them, right? We have different flavors, but we're the same people at the end of the day because our spirit is what unites us. But to be an Israelite is that you're supposed to be upholding the truth. This is what salt means. When we read in the Gospels, when a lot of these brothers are lying to say, "Oh yeah, we're the salt of the world. We twerk better. Our women twerk better. Our men wear they sack their pants better. They're better jumpers. They're better at basketball." That's not what being salt of the world is. Salt was used back in
Preserves.
ancient times to preserve meats. That's what salt was. As a matter of fact, when I grew up in the ranch, I grew up in the farms myself, and then when my uncles went hunting deer to eat for our families, you know what they did? We didn't have refrigerators. You know what we did? We skinned the deer, right? We cut all the
And
meat,
sprinkle
we
salt.
extended it and put salt on it, and we hung it on trees to preserve the meat. So us being the Israelites, we're supposed to be guarding. That's why we call the Guardians of Truth. That's why we have a group called Guardians of Truth on Facebook, because we're actually the guardians. The word guardians goes back to the word shamer, which goes back to the word shamar, which means to be a watchman, keeper, and guardian. And that's what we're supposed to be doing. This is why we're here. We're keeping an eye. We have found a lot of these brothers lying on all the scriptures and twisting the scriptures and so on and so forth. And this is why we do consider a lot of them to be Israelites, because it says, "The remnant of Israel shall not speak lies, nor a deceitful tongue shall be found in their mouths." Zechariah chapter 3, verse 13, I think. So there.
Sure that. You got 1 Samuel 19.
Also, real quick, when you read
So
when
like
you
I
read from the
said,
Bible,
like we said, when you see these people bragging in their flesh, boasting in their flesh, most likely is because they are a Canaanite. Just like you see these camps, like IUIC, a lot of these leaders in these camps are all Canaanites. They're merchants. That's what a Canaanite is, a merchant. They're charging their congregations to attend Passover. IUIC charges their members $500 or even more. Last time I checked, it was like $500 for for them and their families to attend Passover. Right? Where is that in Torah? Where is that? What Torah law says you're supposed to charge for Passover, charge for the
you're
Pentecost,
not allowed
charge
to.
for feast days? Huh?
You're not supposed to.
Exactly. This is why we say a lot of them are Canaanites, because of the way they carry their spirit and the way that they conduct
They have a
themselves.
really big ego.
You see what I'm saying? So it's not about us being racist or anything like that. No, because again, there are Negroes who are Israelites, just like there's plenty of white men who are Israelites, Asian people who are Israelites, Arabs who are Israelites, Hispanics and natives who are Israelites. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
If you know that you're a child of God, at the end of the day, you should be accepting brothers and sisters who claim to be a child of the Most High. Point blank, period. Our enemies should be people who are like atheists, idol worshippers, or into these other religions and things of that nature, witchcraft and things of that nature, right? If you see brothers who are not speaking that way, then most likely their spirit is off. You know what I'm saying? When they tell you, "Oh, Christ is black, Jews are black," you're trying to boast in your flesh, like the brother said. "Oh, we jumped the highest, we're the strongest," like the brother was saying. That's not what the scriptures mean about the salt of the earth. Salt means to preserve. We are the preservers of Torah. We're supposed to keep the Torah and keep it holy, right? But now to
Can you brothers hear me or no? Shalom.
there you go. You can hear me.
Yeah, shalom. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I guess it dropped off again.
Yeah, man. I don't know about this thing. I think it's worse than the first one, but we'll see. We'll try it out.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. There goes. Okay, there's Moses.
Yeah. All
Um,
right.
yeah, there we go.
No worries.
And here we go. Charles Carter, the Most High
Hello,
cut your
everybody.
feet.
Welcome back. My bad.
No, the devil cut the feet, Charles Carter. The Most High is not in charge of YouTube. Who's in charge of YouTube? Amalek. These people, I'm telling you, this is why, this is exactly say these people are who they are. Oh, the Most High cut you off. As if the Most High is in charge of YouTube. Amalek is. The enemies
Right.
of Israel is.
Yeah.
That would have been the
Yeah, but
correct thing
we're
to
back.
say,
So,
Charles Carter. That's what I'm saying. But
yeah, and that clown is it's a naysayer again. That clown is
yeah,
a
I know.
naysayer, just
Yeah,
like
no,
a
that's
lot
all
of
right.
cats that only come here to they only come here to disrupt the lives, to disrupt the class, to disrupt the flow of the waters that are being poured out to the people. That's what they come here to do. But Shalom, what's his name? Brother on the from right, Mexican Israelite. Shalom, brother. Introduce yourself. Welcome to the live. Tell us
Shalom,
who you are.
Shalom,
Shalom.
Shalom, Jose, Shamar, and Moises.
Shalom.
Shalom. No, I'm just joining the brothers right here, the Akim, trying to entertain this and learn and just build with you, brothers, man, because we are the Israelites. Which way you want to point us to, we are Israel, right? And so I want to just get to nitty gritty, man, and the stuff you guys been bringing out has been resonating in my soul, bro, and I don't care whose feelings it hurts. You see what I'm saying? Most people don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. Well, the truth shall set you free, right? So we need to bring out this truth, and so I'm just I want to entertain it because I entertain these camps already, right? And you guys are correct. It's all about black Hebrews, right? Judah, king tribe, right? Well, what's so king about them, brother? You know what I'm saying? Hey, let's be humble, right? Like this brother on the comment board over here talking crap already. If he's our brother, he should be trying to just listen, but he's like jealous, right? He's throwing out these comments, but who cares about that? Again, Mexicanos, Puerto Ricans, us, our people, right? We are the hidden ones. Earlier today, brother, I went on the GMS comment board on one of the videos, right? And I said, he brought up a video about the hidden ones and esto y otro. So I put on there, what? Psalms 83. I said, Northern Kingdom we are the hidden ones, right? You got a George Floyd get murdered. You get the world going crazy. But what about our children? Mexican children in dog cages. Fucking, what about us? Nobody goes crazy, right? We're the hidden ones, right? Okay? So there's so many things that resonates, and it's the truth. You guys are bringing it out, and it's good, brother. It's good, and that's why I'm here. I want to entertain it. I want to just build with you, brothers, man, because you guys are my Akim. ¿Sí me entiendes?
Yeah.
And so much shit's going on in the world right now, right? With all this pedophilia, también on was it Netflix, bro? Some kind of show called like Cutie. You know what I'm talking about? Cutie,
Yeah.
little girls or something.
Yep.
I got little baby girls, man, 12-year-old, 5 years old. It's these fucking Edomites or whoever, the Diablo, right? It's disgusting. So we are heading in those last days, right? So again, you guys are righteous, and it is right to bring out the truth, whether it hurts people's feelings or whichever way, whatever. It doesn't matter, bro. It is what it is, right? So, and again, why the so-called Southern Kingdom get so upset? And all you guys are just doing reading the Bible, Jose, Shamar, reading the Bible. They get mad, right? So usually when people get mad, the truth comes out, right? So bring it out. I want to build with you guys, and let's like you said, Let's chew. Let's
Yeah,
get the meat off this bone and spit off the rest, right?
exactly. And that's basically that's been the
Shamar, do you
problem.
got it?
Yeah, hold on. That's been the problem since we started this war on Canaan. The fact that we bring out facts, we bring out scriptures, we're breaking down the scriptures the correct way according to the Hebrew. We're going into the Hebrew, we're going into the Greek, right? We're not sticking with English or Spanish or French or Italian. We're going back to our original language, which is Hebrew. And then obviously we know that later on we're gonna do a Hebrew lesson. But in the Hebrew lesson, in the Hebrew understanding, you have 4 levels of it. In order to decode what the Bible is actually saying, you have to go into those levels. You have to carve all the way down and then dig the well all the way down and grab that water and bring that water out to spring it out forth to the earth, to the rest of the trees, which is you, brothers and sisters. And that's
Right.
what we're doing. But guess what? Just like it happened, we did a class in this. We called it the wells of Jacob. Well, back in ancient times, a lot of the things were upset with Isaac because Isaac was uncovering the wells of Jacob, his father. He's like, yeah, let me uncover all the wells that the Philistines cover with sand. And that's exactly what these cats are here to do. When you see brothers like this on the common board claiming to be our people, but they're not, instead they're actually trying to put sand on our wells, that tells you that their spirit is not right. They're not connected with our people. Because like you stated, we stated many times, if we're brothers and sisters, we're supposed to be having an amazing conversation on the Bible. We're supposed to have an amazing conversation on the scriptures and say, like, listen, brother, what we're about to read about King David not having hair, that's basically in the Bible. It's true, it's right there. So why are you getting these? Like, yeah, let me read it again, bro. You know what? You're right. I'm gonna humble down and I'm gonna accept it. Because guess what? Our people have accepted the fact that quote unquote Christ is black, Mosiah is black, the angels are black, the trees were black, the water was black, the air was black back in
You're
ancient
right.
times.
You're
Everything
right.
was black. You know what I'm
You're
saying?
right.
We accepted that with no rejection. We're not opposed to it. We accepted it. Why? You know why? Because our people are a meek people in spirit. We're easily deceived because the meekness that we have within ourselves collectively as a nation doesn't allow us for us to say, wait a minute, is this true or false? No, we just run with it. We just accept it.
Yeah.
Why? Because our people perish for lack of knowledge. Again, we're gonna go into the scriptures.
That's right. Hosea 4:6. That's right, brother. That's right. You know, we fit a lot of these way more curses than they do, brother. Right? I'm gonna tell you like this, brother. Ain't no hate in my fucking corazón. Mexicanos, we could work hard, like you say. You're a worker tomorrow. Hey, I'm a painter. I got my painting company, and todo esto. I could work. I'm güero too, homie. I could work in that sun. Los morenos,
Yep.
right? Okay, the Negroes, right? Try to be respectful, right? Because they know hate in our game. It's just the truth. Well, they can't do what we can do, bro. They can't work like us. They just can't, and that's just the truth, right? But again, bro, say I was almost going to join so-called Sakari, and they had me trying to tell me to take this 18-week course, and then you can get See, McDaniel, you know what I'm saying? Jose? For what? I am Israel. What do I got to prove to you? But it is now. I'm
Exactly.
understanding. You guys are shining light to places where it needs to be shining. You see what I'm saying, Shamar? And what's going
Yep.
on is what they're really actually doing is teaching us, like the white man taught us Christianity. They're teaching us their doctrine, right? And so, with that being
Right.
said, we need to just fuck all these doctrines and let's just learn. Let's learn the Bible and look up these words in Hebrew. Hebrew, go like you guys saying, pull it out. Let's really look it up. And why do they love the HAB so bad? You're right, brother. Because that's all I have. Why? Because so-called what I'm hearing, and I'm okay. But nah, I'm not. I've never been a follower. I'm a leader, brother. To this, I'm not one
Yep.
to follow. That's why I was like, you know what? I do my own videos on my own little show. I mean, on my own YouTube, and I was repping them too until I found you guys, right? And now I'm pumping my brakes, bro. And I'm fact checking my information before I'm out there making a fool of myself.
Yep.
Because I
That's
really did.
exactly what.
like Revelations 1 and 14, 15, right? I really never read it like you guys. Like his head and hair were white like wool. So me entiendes? Not. So wait a minute, right?
You have you checked out our classes? We have two classes on break down what Hebrew Revelations 1:14 and 15 actually saying. We have two classes.
Two classes. I've been looking at some of your
Yeah,
videos, bro, and I don't know if I hit one of the classes, but
yeah.
I'll check it.
We have
But
we have we have two classes on that, bro. We actually go into the we go into
okay,
the Hebrew. We actually break it down and disclose that information to the people to actually see. Like you see how these brothers are lying. Our people look like us, just like you're looking at yourself right now. You're not a byproduct of rape. This is what these brothers are saying. These brothers are basically mocking you in the face to tell you that you're a fucking mix. You're a mutt,
Rape baby.
a month.
a
Yeah,
rape
yeah,
baby.
yeah.
That's
You're
basically
right.
what you're a rape baby. That's what they're saying. And this is the problem that we have because when you go back into the walls of the Beni Hassan, you see the Hyksos, you see the Amo people, you see the Sashu people. They look like us, phenotypes and the like, and the texture of hair. This is what Jose Vega is about to go into in a minute. This breaking down the actual texture of King David's hair.
Okay.
So, Vega,
And
what do you want?
within our people, we got straight hair, we got nappy hair, we got woolly hair, right? We got Mexicanos that we call them the negros, but not like you said, your hermana Shamar, she's the negra, but not fucking Hamite, negra, dark,
Yeah,
burnt,
yeah,
really dark, right? But our
yeah,
people,
but also in that aspect, God, a lot of people have to be careful because we have to understand that they post colonization, which is 1400, right? Post that time, you have Hamites that were mingling themselves in the Americas prior to Christopher Columbus arriving on this side of the world. So there was a bunch of Hamites, which we call them Sidonians, which a lot of people know them as Olmecs. The Olmecs were basically Africans that came on this side of the world to this side of the
you're right.
world to basically take over the Mayan Empire. And we
Yeah.
actually have a book. In this book right here, you see that? That
Okay.
book, it goes into all that. It goes into all what happened when a lot of these Hamites came on this side of the world, and they started mixing themselves with the indigenous of our people and so on and so forth. By the time the Spaniards came on this side of the world, they brought another influx of Hamites with them. They call them what? The Moors, the Morenos, Marranos.
Okay, you're
We
right.
call them Marranos because they
Sounds
were a
all
bunch
right.
of forests. Yeah, the
Sounds all right.
Morenos. Well, the Moors were basically the Moors were basically Canaanite converts that began their expansion after the fall of Carthage, and they went into Rome. They took it over, and then from there, their expansion went eastward and westward. They went to Asia Minor, and then after that, they took over Iberia and so on and so forth. And then in Spain, they had two choices: they either converted to Islam or they converted to Judaism, and then didn't wanna do Catholic, right? So
You're
instead,
right.
they went to Judaism, and so a lot of converts began to try to make the Spanish crown to do voyages on the side of the world because they knew we were here. In this
Right.
book right here,
Moors
this
are
book right
not
here,
Israelites.
right?
Right. You're right.
Moors
I
are
In this book,
Canaanites.
read that
Moors are
somewhere.
Canaanites, and they even admit it when you go into the
That,
Moors, like I said, the Moors site.
right, right. Just like in the Bible, right? In Scripture says that they were going to be servants of servants, right?
yep.
Yeah, but let's get to the scripture real quick because Moses
Yeah, yeah,
asked a question like 20 minutes ago. Let's read some scripture real quick. Yo, Shamar, you got your sword?
Yep.
All right, go to 1 Samuel 19 and start at verse, what is it, 9.
All right.
And again, we don't bring these scriptures out to try to disrespect the so-called Negroes. We bring this out to humble them down, especially like for camps like Folk and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Who are, like I said, those Canaanites who like to boast in the flesh. You have to humble them down with the words of the Most High, not our opinions. Let's move all that to the side and see what type of hair was King David's hair compared to. and they don't like when we start bringing these things out because again, we're not using outside sources. We're not going with our vain opinions. We're going to let the words of the Most High speak. All right, go ahead, brother.
All right, Shalom Yisrael. Sorry about that. We have technical issues with our software, but we're back. We're back. All right. Shal-
All right, we back. We back. Who's that
all
right
right.
there?
All right.
Is that
All right.
Moses?
All right. Moses, I'm about to read what Greg is going to bring out. So stick around.
Okay.
All right. Let me see. All right. 1 Samuel 19, verse 9. You guys ready? You ready?
You ready? All right, go ahead.
All right. I'm gonna read. All right. Samuel chapter 19, verse 9. It says, "And the evil spirit from the Lord was upon Saul, as he sat in his house with his javelin in his hand, and David played with his hand." Verse 10. "And Saul sought to smite David into the wall with the javelin, but he slipped away out of Saul's presence, and he smote the javelin into the wall. And David fled and escaped the night." Verse 11. "Saul also sent messengers unto David's house to watch him and to slay him in the morning. And Michal, David's wife, told him, saying, if thou save not thy life tonight, tomorrow thou shalt slay." Verse 12. So
All right,
Michal
stop
let
right there.
David
Stop right
down.
there. You stop right there. You stop right there real quick. So so people get the context. So what's going on is that right now Saul was vexed with a spirit and he wanted to kill King David, right? And what he did was he sent these spies to go spy on David real quick, right? Because he wanted to kill David. All right, you can keep reading. Verse 12.
All right, it says, verse 12. So Michal let David down through a window, and he fled, escaped, took an axe,
You're
and
breaking in
later
and out.
in bed, and put a pillow.
Hold on. You're breaking in and out.
All right,
You're breaking in and out.
I'm gonna read
Start
it
from
again.
verse 12 again.
1 Samuel 19, verse 12. It says, so Michal let David down through a window, and he went and fled and escaped. Verse 13. And Michal took an image and laid it in the bed, and put a pillow of goat's hair for and
Okay, you're breaking up again. You're breaking up again. Well, I'll read verse 13 real quick.
Are you
right?
there, bro? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but you were breaking in and out, right? Verse 13, it says, and Michal took an image and laid it on the bed. Now the question is, right? Saul sent spies to David's house to try to kill David. Michal tricked the assassins and laid an image on the bed, meaning like a dummy, right? To trick the assassins into thinking that that David was laying in the bed sick, right? And she put a pillow of goat's hair for his bolster, meaning for the headpiece, she laid upon it goat's hair. Do you see that, Moses?
Yeah.
Now again, right there proves that King David's hair was compared to goat's hair. And it was not a pillow. It was a headpiece. This is where you start going to the Hebrew, right? Let's go to the Hebrew because we have naysayers, okay? This is why they hate the Hebrew. This is why they love the KJV. Because the KJV, right? Let's go into it, right? 1 Samuel. We're going to go into the Hebrew. Right? We're going to go to verse 13 into the tools. And this is where the daggers start coming out, and they don't like this stuff. right? It says Michael took to the household an idol and laid it on the bed and put a quilt of goat's hair. This is from the Septuagint. This is what it reads in the Septuagint, okay? Again, a translation that's 2,000 years older than your trash KJV. And she says, Michael took the household idol and laid it in the bed and put a quilt. Where's that pillow at, Charles? Where's that pillow at? See, this is where you have to go into older translations. And put a quilt of goat's hair at its head and covered. See, that's what it was. But let's go into, hold on. Cut the KJV translation, right? We'll go to the JV. Let's go see what a bolster is, because he said it's a pillow. It's a pillow, guys. All right, let's go find out if it's a pillow. We're going to go to KJV. Verse 13, right? And the word for pillow there, right? It's crazy, right? And what it says, for his bolster, right? It took a pillow of goat's hair for his bolster, right? What's a bolster? Let's go look up that word bolster, right? It's the Hebrew Strong's H4763, right? We're going to read out of 4 different translations. We got the KJV Strong, which means at his head or bolster. The outline biblical usage says place at his head, dominion, head place, at head place. The Strong's, the Hebrew Strong says a headpiece, a headrest, a bolster.
Shalom, yes, we having issues with app. Just stay patient. I'll give you a minute. All right, shalom.
Oh.
All right, shalom.
Hey, what part was I cut off at?
You were describing like the bolster. This.
Oh, did you hear what I said about the nets, right? Under the nets, Septuagint.
No, read that part.
You were defining the bolster.
Okay, hold on. Okay, we're gonna read it from the Septuagint again for Charles, because he said it was not goat's hair. Because again, that's why Charles, you are a Canaanite, because you can't even acknowledge what the scripture is saying. You hate the scripture. This is why we do say this about people like you. All right, but this is 1 Samuel's. All right, let's go to the nets. Right, we're going to read it again. This is verse 12, right? And it says, so Michael lowered David through the window, and he ran away and escaped. Then Michael took a household idol and put it on the bed. She put a quilt made of goat's hair over its head. Do you hear that? Do you hear that, Charles?
There it is.
She like this, a quilt like this, laid it over the head of goat's hair. Over the head. Okay, so it's not about a pillow. It's not a pillow. She laid it on a quilt over the head of goat's hair. Sorry, Charles. Bolster, again, means headpiece. And the word bolster is not even in the Septuagint. See, this is why these people are so simple. This is why these brothers like him, they're scared to debate brothers like us, because we're going to get into the Hebrew, we're going to get into older translations, and we're going to cut his KJV trash. The KJV is trash. And you notice, right? He wants to stay with his KJV, right? This is how you defeat people like Charles, right, who love the KJV, right? When you go to Deuteronomy 28, hey, Charles, go to Deuteronomy 28, read verse 50, 51, where it talks about the curses, right? How the nation from afar shall come on your land and take your wine and your corn. Mexican, my brother, Mexican Israelite. Where does corn come from? Where is corn indigenous to?
The Aztecs.
Mexico.
Mayans, right?
Mexico.
Yes,
man.
Mexico. Exactly. They didn't start cultivating corn. They didn't start cultivating corn in Africa until the late 1600s. So that right there, if you stay with your KJV, you're taking all of Africa out of curses, Charles. This is why. This is why they don't like stuff like that. Oh, it says bolster. The Septuagint doesn't say bolster. The Septuagint doesn't mention about nothing about a pillow. Doesn't mention anything about a bolster. I'm going to read the Septuagint again. Let's go see if it mentions anything about a pillow or a bolster. Right? It says Micah took a household idol and put on the bed. She put a quilt made of goat's hair over its head, and then covered the idol with a garment. Did anybody see pillow or bolster in the Septuagint? Did anybody hear me say that? No, why? Because that's something that was added by the KJV. You see? And this is why. He could call it, oh, you're the devil. So Yahweh's the devil because I'm reading what the scripture says? Do you see this? This is what I'm telling you, people, right here. This is the spirit that comes out of these people because they hate the words of the Most High. They hate it to a T. Right?
Bring it out.
Perfect.
Bring it out.
Now check this out, right?
Vega.
Yeah.
Vega. Hold on. Most that they being found to be liars.
Exactly.
Their exposed. Like, they themselves say that they love the Most High because if they did love the Most High, they would humble down and say, "Listen, let me break what you guys, what you guys are saying, and actually go into the Hebrew like we're doing it, and actually, no, they want to be prideful, and this is why the Scripture says, "Pride cometh before the fall." That's what the pride is bringing all of them into the. That's why all they're destroyed.
12, 13, 14 today, up to today, right? 12,
It's like
14, whatever. 12, 13, 14, didn't count. So I put everything together. My nigga, she leave at 5. Can you believe she's like?
They have heard it like, and that's why they don't want to.
She took the stack
In and out again, Shamar.
all the paperwork up again, put it how she puts it.
It's difficult to hear you.
12, 13, 14, 15. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Who,
12, 13,
also, I had another
14,
question.
18.
Who are considered Esau?
The so-called white man.
So
When
the
I saw the
Khazars,
paperwork, because again, I'm
the one who took
closing.
the
Again, I'm
things
the
of
one that's going to
the
get
children.
called. Again, I'm the one that they're going to call the attention to. Again, I'm the one that's going to get called into the office because I'm the oldest.
Hold on, brother.
I'm complaining. And then I have this one over here telling me not to
Hold on.
complain or run my mouth.
I guess the brother went out again.
I got fired for my mouth.
You guys can hear us, though? You can hear us?
But what
Are you there?
Yeah.
I still
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can.
like being called into the office.
Yeah, there's a lot of background noise on your end, bro.
Hey, Jose, Shamar, can you hear me?
Yeah, bro. What's going on, bro?
No, quick question, brother. You know, like in Revelations, and it says, one like unto the Son of Man. It's not even necessarily saying Yahweh Shai, right? Yahweh. I mean, right? It's saying one like unto him. Does that make sense?
Yo, and I hate to do it, but I'm.
What about it?
because I'm up in
That's not
Sunday.
referring. That's not saying that that's
And
Yahweh
she's
Shai, right?
talking on her earphone the whole
Not
time,
necessarily,
even
man,
when she's making
but we
calls,
can read it
which
in
she gets her
chapter
calls done or whatever. I don't
chapter
know,
2,
but
verse
that's because
18.
it's
I believe
on
that's
her
when
thing
actually you
and she's on the phone.
it describe
She's
Yahweh Shai
talking
or Christ. You can read it.
really fucking low. But when the
It's not
messenger
being
comes,
described
they
as
move
it's being
a little
described
bit
in the
more
book of Revelations
blah
14.
blah blah. But one time that I had white nails,
Right.
like
Okay.
when I was younger, I was like this,
So
I
Moses,
had to
did you
hit
get the
my
understanding of First
finger
Samuel's
like
19?
finger here because it was loud and I
Yes,
couldn't hit
thank you.
my thing.
No, I wanted to just get
The
more knowledge and
manager
information
was like,
and
whoa,
deliver.
whoa, whoa,
I
Karen.
appreciate it.
Exactly.
He
Exactly.
was
Again, brother, don't. If I was you, I would stay away from the KJV 1611 because again, what was going on was the slave trade was already going on, right? So to justify the slavery of the so-called black man, the Canaanite, the West African that came over here, they put these words in there to trick them into making them think that. But again, when you go to again, the Septuagint is 2,000 years older than the KJV, and this is why they can't handle things like that. They can't handle it.
So do we line up the
It's
book?
clearly said she took a quilt of goat's hair and laid it over the head like this of goat's hair for what? To trick the assassins into thinking that David was laying in the bed sick. So again, David's hair was compared to goat's hair, and his son King Solomon's hair was said to be curly. When you go into again, when you go into Septuagint, let's go prove that, right? Let's go to Septuagint real quick.
And hella issues with this thing, man. I thought it was gonna be better than the other one, but I think it's worse than the first software that we used to do these lives. But Shalom, welcome to the live. Thanks for being patient with our issues, technical
I
issues,
knew
and
because I was here
support.
before her, but she didn't know that her boss was there. So, and she's always like fighting with her
It's
phone,
crazy,
like
man. That
with
whenever I
her
get
phone.
kicked
I
out,
use my
you guys are
phone.
get kicked out
I
too.
might look at it or whatever, or on my break I look at my phone or whatever. But I don't use my phone.
I think you're the host. That's why.
They told me you're not allowed to use your phone because we take credit cards and blah blah. But she's I don't care. It's not my business. But that day, play music on play music. You know, my boss went like that to her, and like she was like, "Oh shit!" Like I didn't know he was here. I wish her music.
Shamar,
Yeah,
her
what's going
music
on,
hadn't
brother?
started, but I wish.
I had another question. Well, I guess it's a question, but one thing I want to say is my father is a shaman, and he was given a book to help people, I guess, and he was a young child by an angel, a so-called angel. And the so-called angel was like very bright, and he was given a book, but my father refused. And he said that maybe one day I will receive this book and see how to help.
Grega, can you mute your mic, bro? Can you mute your mic? There's a lot of noise, background noise on your end, bro. Moises, what were you saying, bro? I'm sorry.
No worries, it's okay. I was just saying that my father's a shaman, and he goes to Mexico all the time, right? But besides that, I want to say that he was a shaman, and he was a kid. He was given a book by some angel, and he described it as a very bright being, but he refused. And he said maybe one day I will have that opportunity. I will have that opportunity. But that being said, that I witnessed my father do how do you say shaman stuff like remedios and all that to help people with diabetes, cancer, both. And he likes to help people. But the thing is, he doesn't realize that he's an Israelite and all that. And how do I help my father convince that he is an Israelite? Because we're both from descendants from Mexico and all brown, dark people. I'm just very light skinned. That's all. Very light skinned.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing about us proving our people that they're the Israelites is pretty easy. It's all you have to do is read the curses. You know, just like a lot of these, like Jose Vega, like when he read the curses, bro, he immediately thought about our people. He immediately thought about the struggles that our people went through and have gone through for the past 500 years by the occupiers that landed on the shores of Mesoamerica back in 1492. So once you read those curses, bro, and then you actually connect those curses with historical facts, and you actually show, your father and our people, and it's part of that. That also is part of the blindness that has happened to our nation, just like we read in Isaiah chapter 1 verse 3. The cow knows where the master crib is, the ass knows where they belong, where they live at, but Israel, bro, Israel is worse than an animal. Our people is worse than a beast, right? Because now, obviously our people got destroyed by the occupiers that landed on Mesoamerica back in 1492 all the way down to the 1800s, and so on and so forth, by the Portuguese, the Spaniards, the French, so on and so forth, which is basically one nation, Edomites. Our people got destroyed, our books got up, our elders got killed off, our priests, our shamans got killed off, our priestesses got killed off, our prophets got when the enemies arrive on the side of the world. So everything that connects us, Father, our spiritual, kind of like a spiritual cable, kind of like severed. It got damaged. It's not broken because we still connect with the Father. Even in the midst of our wickedness, we still connect to the Father, right? Because we are a loved nation. We are loved everlastingly. That's the love of the Father that He has towards us, and this is the greatest example of love. It's like, remember when was it? I think it was Amos or Hosea, when basically he was told that he had to marry a prostitute, a woman that had committed adultery. Why? Because that symbolized the love of the Father that He has towards us. Even though we have gone whoring after the gods and have committed adultery against the Most High still loves us. So going back to the curses is basically the identification of how we can tell that our people is our people, because they have gone through this and that and the third. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's basically our fight against a lot of these scams, because a lot of these scams teach that the Negro, Baso-Hamitic people, these West Africans, they're the ones that fit the curses, all of them. But so-called Hispanics, they don't fit none of the curses. That's their ideology. That's according to them. But that's false. You know what I'm saying? So the quickest way to teach our people is run the curses down, and show our people, hey, this is us. This is what happened to our people. This is the demise that happened to our people. This is the fall that took place, such and such and such, when Solomon died, after Solomon died, and then we came on the side of the world, and this is what happened, and the enemies came on the side of the world, invaded our lands, indoctrinated our people with Christianity, this and that and the third. So you ran down all the way down to the T, down to the T, and then our people are gonna realize, like, wait a minute, that makes sense, bro. That's us. That's our people, and that's what our people need to do. This is why Jose Vega and I we were working on a teaching of Deuteronomy 28, verses 15 all the way down to 68, to show the curses in connection with 3 witnesses of history. And I mean, we're still gonna work on that, but we haven't gotten around that. But we, in the spirit of the Most High, we're gonna finish that class. We're gonna get to it. But yeah, that's the quickest way to do to teach our people, bro.
Okay, gracias.
This is why we gotta know history. This is why we gotta find those books, and this is why the Bible says that even the earth is gonna speak. Well, the earth has to do with archaeology, and archaeology is being brought forth. We brought this out like 2 years ago when we brought out how our people looked. Like, there was even an artifact that they found in Israel back in 2011 or 2016, where they found an artifact of a king, of the kings of Judah, and they looked like us. They looked like yellow Asiatic people, like us. We brought that out. So archaeology speaking, history speaking, and history in reality, like Jose Vega and I have been saying, we don't need history books at all. We can just stick with the curses, and then our people can actually identify themselves in. But the fact is that our people have lost their way, history. They have lost the chronology of our forefathers, so on and so forth. Therefore, when you tell them certain things, they don't know, they don't remember. So that's where we come in.
Yeah, I want to show you, brothers, the deceptions, right? Like I said, look at the difference. This is what I keep telling you. This is why they rely on the cage instead of going to the Septuagint or the Dead Sea Scrolls, right? We're gonna read Psalm chapter 5 about Solomon and what kind of hair he has, right? You're gonna see the deception, right? We're gonna read from the KJV first, right? And it says, And my beloved is white and ruddy, the chiefest among 10,000. His head is as the most fine gold. Locks are bushy, right? His locks are bushy and black as a raven, right? So this is where they get the idea that, look, he has locks, right? But the whole point is that like I told you guys, the KJV is trash. Look what this Septuagint says, right? And it says this: my beloved is dazzling and ruddy. He stands out in comparison to all other men. His head is like the most pure gold. His hair is curly, black like a raven. Did it say anything about locks or being bushy?
No.
Did it? Do you see how when you go to the older translations, it debunks their weak arguments over and over and over again? Just like whatever color scripture they want to type in, explain Lamentations 4, explain Lamentations 5. If you go to the Septuagint, the word black is not even going to be there.
Bring it out, Jose. Bring it out.
Okay? Anything. Jeremiah, Jeremiah 17 and 4. Judah is black unto the ground. Go to the Septuagint, the word black is not even there. It just says mourning. Any scripture they try to bring out, the Septuagint and Dead Sea Scrolls cuts that nonsense out. He says curly, so recessive gene. Well, again, 12 tribes wake up, because I know that's you from FOP. Go to Septuagint. See if we're lying. This is why you guys don't like the Bible Hub, the Blue Letter, the Septuagints, the lexicons, and everything like that, because it debunks your racist doctrine. It debunks your racist doctrine. We see two scriptures.
Right.
We went to 1 Samuel. I read it for you in the KJV, where it talks about the pillow and the bolster. But when you read in the Septuagint, there was no pillow mentioned, no bolster mentioned, none of that mentioned. Same thing with Songs of Solomon. It says his locks were bushy. We didn't say anything about the locks or anything being bushy. It says his hair was curly. Again,
that's right, man. That's
the reason why they want to get away from this is because they know that Negro men don't grow straight hair or curly hair. They don't. And they hate this stuff.
It's funny how
it hurts
it's
their
funny
soul.
how
Go ahead.
it's funny how Judah Natsara, bro. Remember Judah Natsara when he was hair? Bro, are you kidding me?
The funny thing about Judah, at least that's what I'm saying. At least Judah, being a Negro, knows that the way that we're breaking it down is correct. And this is why I give props to Judah. At least he can admit that David's hair was compared to a goat's hair, which is straight.
Right.
Him and his followers, they're all Torah believers. They knew the way that I broke it down was correct. The only people who don't agree is the One West and these folk idiots.
Yep.
They're racist. Hate what the Most High is showing you. They hate it. This is why they can't debate me on anywhere. They can't debate me on any platform because I'm going to show the people the truth, and they don't want their viewers to see the truth.
It becomes personal.
This is why they try to make secret videos on the side. Oh, they said this, they said that, whatever the case may be. You know what the folk said about our last video? They said that Hispanic men and people like that cannot turn black in the sun.
That's dumb, bro. I turn black all the time, bro.
They turn dark.
I can show you the name's dark all the time, bro.
You know what the funny thing is about his video? Because I want to address it real quick. He made a video the other day, and he was talking about Songs of Solomon about the woman, right? He was like, I live in New York, where a whole bunch of Hispanics, and they don't turn dark. They have to put suntan lotion all over their skin because they will burn, right? This is what he said. They will burn in the sun, right? Let's check this out. And again, the Septuagint says, right? Because his own words condemned him. His own word. Let's remember, he says that they will burn, right? That we burn, right? But not the black man, right? Because they're protected by melanin. So they're protected. They don't burn in the sun. But we do, right?
Before you go there, before you go there, bro, before you go, where Jose Vega read about the locks, this is what it's referring to about Solomon. You see those locks? It's called trenzas. In Spanish, we call them trenzas. That's going to
That's right.
locks, and that's basically what the system, like the tassels. The tassels are supposed to be braided like that. That's in the law. That's how you're supposed to braid the tassels. You see that? You see the hair? That's how you're supposed to braid the tassels because it
Huh.
represents life itself. It represents DNA. You see that, brother? That's a Native American chief.
That's
He
right.
is wearing locks. Same thing as Moses. And then in what Jose got read, it describes the hair as the raven. Raven do not have woolly hair. They have straight hair, straight feathers. The ravens do not have woolly or wavy feathers. It's straight.
What what locks means is just like a. If I grab my beard, it's a lock of hair. That's what locks means. It don't mean like
Yeah,
dreadlocks or whatever else they think.
yeah,
It's just a
yeah.
lock of hair.
Yeah, but the word
Exactly,
lock
like
again,
my
but the
hair.
word lock is not even in the Septuagint. That's the whole point. We don't even
Yeah,
need to make those
Right, right,
arguments.
right, right.
That's what I'm saying. We don't even need to make those arguments. When we go to a translation that's
There
2,000
you
years
go.
older than theirs, it doesn't even say the word lock in it. This is why they
That's right.
again they don't. That's what they don't do this stuff. But check this out, right? Like I said, Songs of Solomon 1, right? Because remember, he was talking about burn. He was like, "Oh, you Hispanics have to put suntan on us because in order for you guys to get dark, the sun burns your skin, right?" Well, let's go see if the Shulamite woman was burned by the sun. Let's go see if it says that. This is Songs of Solomon 1, verse 6. And this is where it hurts them to the core, right? Why does this woman say this? Do not stare at me because I am dark, for the sun has burned my skin.
Right there.
The sun has burned her skin. You see, folk, this is why you guys got to get a debate with me. Because this is what I'm going to bring out in the debate, show everybody, screen share it for everybody to read for themselves, where it shows that this woman talks about, don't stare at me because the sun has burned my skin. But wait a minute, folk. I thought Negroes or Africans don't get burned by the sun because you're protected by your melanin.
That's right.
You see, and he made a video saying this stuff, but notice he didn't say that part, right? They don't mention none of this stuff. You see what I'm saying? They don't bring none of this stuff. Why she said that the sun burned her skin? Why? Because she herself wasn't naturally dark. That's the whole
right.
point. She wasn't even dark herself. She was dark because the sun burned her skin because she was out working the fields. That's what the verse 6 talks about.
Well, Semitic
Yep.
people, man. We are the shiny brass, right? Look, the color, brother. Color.
Here he goes. Look, yes,
Chest,
we do
hand,
get. Look what he says. Look what he says. 12 tribes will wake up. Yes, that's not the point. Do you see how they just skip the point? The point is, yes, we know that Negroes get darker when they're in the sun, but you guys say you're protected by your melanin. Do you burn? Does the sun burn your skin? No, it doesn't. You see how so this is what I'm telling you. These people have to be Canaanites because it's these simple concepts just go right over their head. Out of his
Yeah.
own mouth in his video that we burn, but they don't burn. But now he's over here talking about, oh yeah, we get darker.
Right, and
Yeah.
the whole thing about, and even the whole thing about them turning black, it's actually, it works against them because I think I showed you already that the overload of vitamin D, it works against them. So even them claiming to have melanin, it actually works against them.
That. Baby Boo, where's my phone? He said he didn't say that. I'm going to prove to everybody on this live that he did say that. That Hispanics need to wear suntan because we burn in the sun while they're protected. But now he's saying that he didn't say that, right? So we're going to prove him a liar. I'm going to play his video at the 7-minute mark because I watched your video. It was very hilarious. and we're going to see who's the liar here. This is why we're going to keep proving that you people are the devil the Bible speaks of. You Canaanites, and this is why Zechariah chapter 14:21 says what it says, that in that day, the Canaanites are the only nation who is not going to be allowed to worship in the Lord's house because of
Why?
their
Why?
lying tongue that they have.
Exactly. That's why, because they've been lying against the scriptures. They've been corrupting our book. They've been teaching the wrong things to our people. They deceiving themselves. They deceiving the whole world. They basically corrupting the whole thing. And this is what they're well known. That's why they were back in ancient times. A lot of these Canaanites were the greatest seafarers of the world, the ancient times of the ancient world. They went around the world and basically copied everybody's stuff. You know what I'm saying? This is why when they copy everybody's stuff, they started corrupting things. They started overcharging for the things that they learned from other nations. And that's what they did when they became converts back in the, 1400s all the way to the 1800s, when a lot of these cats converted to Judaism. And they gave it their own spin, just like the English language, when they speak the language of English, they don't speak it correctly. They perverted it. Instead of saying, I don't, what do they say? I ain't about that life, bruh. I ain't about that life. They corrupt everything they touch, everything that they use, they corrupt. And this is why when they grab our book, they corrupted the teachings of our book. They corrupted the color scriptures that they is not talking about color scriptures, and they corrupted many things. And this is why the Most High said, I'm going to leave the Canaanites amongst you to serve you as a test, to be a test for yourselves, to see if you're about this life, to see if you're actually going to wake up. You know what I'm saying? So all of these
Hold on.
things that we're sharing out,
I got it
it
right
goes
here,
back to the
brother.
crafty
I got it
council,
right here.
because a lot of these Canaanites are part of that crafty council, deceiving the hidden ones. That's what is going on. That's what's taking place today. Our people, which are actually the hidden ones, are being deceived by these Canaanites with a lot of these doctrines, with a lot of these teachings that were perverted back in the 1960s by
Right.
rabbis that learned under the white men,
That's right.
so on and so forth.
All right,
And
now
this is why we're here. This is why we're sounding trumpet, and this is why we want brothers and sisters to continue to sound the trumpet wherever you are at. That's the mission. That's the biggest
check,
mission of
check.
your life.
Here it is right here, right? The brother 12 tribes, whatever, proven to be a liar. Look what he said about our people, right? Hold on.
Pigmentation is because
Can y'all hear it?
South of Europe, just like the Hispanics. Their forefathers are south of Europe, so some of them may have a little bit of pigmentation in their skin, but guess what? They still prone to burn if they stay in the sun for a long time. They prone.
Do you hear what he just said?
Burn.
That is,
You got too excited, Jose.
Brothers, can you hear me or no?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Also, I have another
proven
question.
to be a liar,
Oh,
brother.
sorry.
Again, you got proven to be a liar. Hold on, let me see what else he says, right? Look.
Prone to burn. This is a fact. They still have to put on suntan lotion. And let's read this real quick here to see what it says.
You hear what it says? Okay, you heard what he said. Hispanic, we're prone to burn, and we need to put on suntan lotion. So did I lie, people? Because he said I lied. He didn't say that. You can go read the comments. Exactly. He's very. This is what I'm talking about. They hate the Torah. They break laws all the time, but yet they claim to be that they're the children of the Most High. When they keep lying through their teeth.
That's right, man.
They keep lying through their teeth.
They can't be humble. Be humble, right? You can't. They can't.
He says, "Look, not upon me because I am black, because the sun." See, do you see what he's doing again? He's using the what, people? What is he using?
KJV.
The KJV. Hey, Charles Carter, why don't you go to the Septuagint? See what it says. It doesn't. You know what it doesn't say. She doesn't say. She doesn't say. Look not upon me because I'm black. It says, do not stare at me. Why would she say that? If she was supposed to be this proud black woman, right? Why would she tell the woman, don't stare at me because I'm black? Because
Shalom. Brothers can hear me or no? Yeah, I apologize, man. I don't think I'm gonna stick around with this app. It's horrible. Let's see. Shalom, shalom. All right, so um,
You can hear me? Yeah, there you go.
you can you hear me or no?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, man. I don't
Again,
think.
Charles Carter. Yeah. The app is kind of messing up. Like well, it's almost the same thing as YouTube does. You know.
Yeah. But what Carter is basically barking is basically saying, "Oh, you look here. It says I am black." But again, we're gonna say this
She's
again
telling you
that if
why she turned black. She wasn't
yeah,
originally black, brother. That's the whole point. She's telling you.
that's the
She's
whole
telling
point.
the woman of Zion. Put it this, Charles Carter. She may had some melanin, right? Right? She may have some melanin. But the point is, she was addressing the Israelite woman of Zion. And she's telling the women of Zion to not look at her because she's black. So what does that make the women of Zion, Charles?
Non-black,
They were non-black. That's the
non-black.
whole point. She's explaining to them why she's black and how she turned so dark because of the sun burning her skin. This is what
Yep, and
you're
even
not getting.
and even says like, "Do not look upon me because." Hold on. It even says, "Do not look upon me because I am black," meaning she's actually apologizing to the daughters of Zion that she's black. So if the daughters of Zion are black, why would another black woman be apologizing to other black women that she is black if she, if the daughters of Zion
There you go.
are black?
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
So I have to see what the hell is
See?
wrong with this.
It's all logic. Now, again, the Brothers read verse 2. It's actually about a woman. It's not even about King Solomon. It's talking about a woman, the Shulamite woman, which I think Jose Vega already proved that even the Shulamite woman had straight hair, just like King David had straight hair, just like Solomon had straight hair, so on and so forth. Just like Solomon was white, just like the brother right here in the right hand side. Brother, what is your name again? What is it? Mexican Israelite? What was your name? What is your
Anthony.
name? Anthony. Exactly. Just like Brother Anthony, he looks like King Solomon. His skin color, that's exactly what King Solomon looked like. He wasn't black. He wasn't red and so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? So again, brothers do not want to humble down against the scriptures, not against the ancient watchmen, not against what we're saying, not against our YouTube channel, against the scriptures. And that's part of the hardiness of the spirit, the pride. Again, it goes back to the pride. The pride is going to be the downfall of a lot of these camps. And you already see a lot of brothers are waking up. A lot of our people are waking up to the lies. A lot of our people are realizing, like, wait a minute. We've been lied about this and that and the third. We've been lied about Jeremiah 14:2. We've been lied about Song of Solomon 1 and 5. We've been lied about Job 30:30. We've been lied about Lamentations 5:10. We've been lied about Revelation 1:14 and 15. I mean, think about it. If they lied about these certain things, what do you think of also? There are also many other things, and they don't want to humble down, and they will not humble down until all they're destroyed. And this is why we read in prophecy that they will not be allowed in the temple. Zechariah 14:21 is a cut to all of them, and that's what they're trying to do. They want to fight
See,
it.
look. You see, this is okay. Yeah, don't mind my phone. My phone's all messed up. But this is an artifact, right, of a king that was found in Israel. This is an artifact. Does that look like a Negro? No, it's light skin, right? And we're gonna get other images, and we're gonna show you brothers other images, older images, right? Because they love to show the Russian icons, right? They show, look at this in the 900 AD of a black Christ and Paul and them being black and all stuff, right? No, not knowing that there are older images in the BC, around 400 BC to around 200 AD, which again,
The Dura synagogue.
yeah, the Dura synagogue, which by at least 1,000 years. But they don't want people to know these things.
Right.
This is why we're here to teach our brothers and sisters these things, so our people won't continuously be fooled by these
Wake
people.
them up. Wake them up. That's right. And I want to
Because
thank you, brothers,
again,
too, for
pottery, artifacts don't lie. Men lie, women lie, even books lie, right?
that's right.
But artifacts and pottery do not lie, right? This is from the Dura synagogue. This is a picture of Moses, right?
Shemitic.
Wow.
You see that? That is not a Negro man or an African man, right?
But he does
This
got
was
curly hair. But that's what our people
300
do.
This is around 300 BC. That picture I just showed you, right? We're gonna keep going down to show you more from the Dura synagogue, or what King David looked, Ezra looked like, and things of that nature, right? Just give me a second. We're
Hey,
gonna
I
keep
thought
showing
most
you,
of
brothers.
these camps too said that we're they're so-called Judah the first to wake up, right? But it's funny, the Israelitas that
You see that right there?
also been woke.
That's supposed to be King David right there, getting anointed.
Yeah, that's not Negro, brother.
And these are the oldest images you're going to find of the Israelites. And this is what people don't want to talk about. These are images from 300 BC, and it predates their Russian icons by at least 1,000 years, right? I'm going to keep showing you guys more. So separate from each other.
The truth hurts. The truth hurts.
But ow.
Yeah, but the truth will set everybody free, bro. That's what important about the truth.
And this is why we're on this panel. We're bringing it out. We're just trying to set the record straight, right?
That's what we've been trying to do, bro, and that's the job of everybody that's listening. You guys are supposed to do the same thing in respective city. You guys are watchmen to our nation. You guys are pillars to our nation. This responsibility falls upon every single one of you. It's not just the job of Costa and I, or the ancient watchmen. We started this whole thing because we see the decay of our people, just like Nero, the decay of walls of our city. Well, the walls of our ancient cities, in the spiritual sense, they're fallen and they're broken. There's a bunch of holes in which all our enemies are coming in and out, coming in and out into our cities, into our minds, in a spiritual self. And so that is why Nehemiah came in and started building the walls of Jerusalem, reach, and it's closing the breaches. They're in the why? So that nobody can access our minds. And this is the job of our people. Once those walls are restored, once our walls are built up again, what we're supposed to do, we're supposed to put this watchman upon the walls so the watchman can actually watch into the horizon and actually warn the people. Every time you see something that is wrong, you blow the trumpet. You blow that trumpet. Wherever you are, that's exactly what a watchman is. Isaiah 62 verse 6 tells you that we will not hold our peace nor day nor night. This is why we're here, and this is why you're here, and this is why a lot of brothers have to do the same thing in your respective cities to defend our thing. This is the takeover of Canaan. This is what happened during the times of Joshua. This is what Moses. This is what happened even after Joshua died. Our people continue that battle against the Canaanites. As a matter of fact, our woman, what's her name? Deborah. Deborah basically war against the Canaanites. He took our entire nation to go to war against Canaan. Our woman. Do you understand? So that job falls upon every single one of you to do the same thing, to Shamara, to destroy, to watchman, to be a watchman.
You see this right here? This is a picture of baby Moses right there. This is Moses as a baby. And these are the women of Israel around him. Again, what do they look like? Well, they're in like a bath.
Oh, okay.
Right?
They're in the river. River.
Yeah, basically.
Hey, Shamar?
This is Ezekiel right here in the middle. You see that guy in the middle? That's supposed to be Ezekiel.
That's so much fun.
Do you see? They're not Negro people.
There are skin.
That's so much fun.
Exactly.
Anything, whatever you want,
There you go.
And again, like I said, they can hate, they can cry all they want.
Where do you get these photos?
Up here.
See that?
All right, Shalom Yashro. Yeah, we're having issues with this app, man. I don't like it. I keep getting, and then when I get booted out, it's booted out. It doesn't work like that, bro. All right, Shalom.
Yep.
Your wife in on the couch.
We are getting kicked out a lot more than even on YouTube. But at least it like adds the people back on like right away. And that's the only thing.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's not working out because I'm using my phone, bro. But if I use my computer, I think it'll be better.
Yeah.
Purple handprint.
That's what happens when you live in the wilderness, people. You see that?
Hey, I have a question for Shimon.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
What's up?
By any chance, do you do Bible study so we can meet up and learn? Because I'm really thirsty for knowledge, bro. I really want to know who I am, and well, I do, but you know what I mean.
You want to get together? You said?
Well, yeah. If you provide Bible studies, and I also camp by myself too. I camp by myself all the time, but I wanted to know more. Because it's better when you get it from someone who's older than you and who understands it than someone who's new and is trying to learn from the King James version and trying to go through like multiple definitions. And it's difficult, I'm not gonna lie,
Right.
but I can try.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, we're part of a few chat groups.
You can call it. You can call my inbox on Facebook. I'm actually blocked right now for 30 days. I got. Vega, mute your mic, bro. Mute your mic. I think I got 1 week left. Okay. Can you hit me up on Facebook? Because I'm more active on Facebook and so on and so forth. Right now I'm blocked for like 30 days, but I got like a week left. I keep getting blocked for 30 days and 30 days and 30 days and 30 days. So, but I shall be back soon, bro. And then otherwise we can share phone numbers. You can call me. You can call Jose Vega. We teach the same thing, so on and so forth. So, I mean, this is why we started the Ancient Watchmen, because we want to re-educate our people. We want to help our nation. This is what we do, bro. We're not charging money like a lot of these cats are. We're not asking for the 10% like the ISUPK is and GMS is doing it. We're not charging to keep the Passover. We're not charging so that you can study the Bible with us. This is not what it's about. We're not merchants. The whole thing about Canaan is that they have turned this our thing, our heritage, our book, our laws into a money mongering machine, a business. You got a lot of these cats creating music, spiritual music, and charging money. You have a lot of these cats printing shirts with fringes and charging money for it. You got a lot of these cats charging $500, $600 per family to go to a Passover. Where is that in the Torah? Where is that in the Torah? You got a lot of these cats that are not even Levites asking for the 10%. So on and so forth. It's nothing more than a Christian church with the spin of Canaanite Africanism ideology. That's all it is. And a lot of our people, a lot of so-called Latinos and Native Americans are buying into this whole nonsense. Why? Because our people are ignorant. Our people are simple. This is why the Most High told you, how long are you simple ones are going to love stupidity? because the word stupid, when you break that down, go into the etymology, it actually means stupid. So Moses is telling you, how long are you stupid ones? Are you continue to love a stupidity, right? With the stupidity doctrines from one West. How long, bro? How long? This is why we're basically passionate about this whole thing, because we want to debunk all this nonsense. We want to expose all this nonsense, all these doctrines, so on and so forth, that have been lying to our people, brainwashing our people, drinking wine. This is why Christ said, what did Christ says? Like, listen, you cannot put new wine into old wine skins, because if you put the new wine into the old wine skins, the old wine skin is going to torn apart. What do you have to do? You have to recreate new wines, which is your mind. You have to let go of everything that you think you knew, you learned, and those all the things. And that's basically what it means to be born again, to let go of everything that you learned and actually start over again, like a baby.
Renew
You
your
have to start
mind.
over again. You have to drop everything that you think you learned in discounts, because a lot of these people have lied to our people. You know what I'm saying? So this is why we don't push this, and we don't push the 12 chart here. We only push Southern Kingdom and Northern Kingdom. We identify those two kingdoms, which is the Gypsies will be Southern, and the rest of our people, indigenous North American Indians, indigenous of our people, South and Central America and the Caribbean islands, that will consider be the Northern Kingdom, and so on and so forth. So, this is the mission, man. The mission is for you to be a watchman and a watchwoman. That's the mission. And that's exactly what was happening during the times of Nehemiah. They had a weapon in their hand, and they were building with the other one. They had a weapon in their hand. They were building with. Why? Because a lot of our enemies were coming in from different sides to try to disrupt our movement, to try to disrupt the building of our people, the rebuilding of our walls. And that's what's taking place here right now. And that has been taking place for quite some time now on the boards, on Facebook, and now here on YouTube. And now we're bringing this out to the people, so that brothers can actually understand the war. Like, wait a minute, there's a war? This is war? What is going on? Well, this is the war right here. Welcome to the war. Welcome to the war. This is the war. This is the spiritual battle to take back our heritage. So welcome to the war. It's like Moses said to the children of God and Manasseh, like, wait a minute, are you going to sit you behind there? Are you going to sit down and do nothing? Meanwhile, your brothers go to war? Are you going to sit down and just do nothing? And meanwhile, your brothers are going to war? What are you prepared to do? What is it that you want to contribute to the nation? What is it? What is your gift? What is your talent? What is your talent? What are you going to contribute to the nation? Your people, your nation is dying. Your nation is being lied to. Your nation has been stolen. Their land, literally, our land has been stolen throughout North, Central, and South America. Not only that, but our heritage now is being stolen. Now you got a lot of these Hamites calling themselves Native Americans, that they're the original Native Americans, and the rest of our people are Mongolians and this and that and the third, and blah, 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 blah. When it's actually far from the truth. A lot of these Hamites were runaway slaves that sought refuge in our camps, in our families, so on and so forth. Obviously, us being meek people, meek multitude, we took them in, we welcomed them in. Okay, that's fine, it's okay, we got you, we'll protect you from the white men, because the white men was beating their asses, were mistreating the so-called Negroes, so-called Canaanites, Egyptians. They were being mistreated to the point that we're being treated as beasts. So we took them in, we felt sorry for them, and then not only that, but we gave them our daughters to marry, in which they created progeny, and progeny later on, 60, 40 years from there until now they're running their mouths saying, we are the actual Native Americans, and you guys are not the Native Americans. We are the original men, are not the original men. You guys are rape babies, this and that. It's madness. This is all madness.
Slowly pushing us out, right? I got a scripture real quick, brother. Second
Bring it
Corinthians,
out.
chapter 6, verse 17. It says, wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate, say ye the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. Right? We got to come out of this of all this bullshit, right? We got to find our nationality. Well, we know our nationality, right? But we got to wake up the rest of the lost sheep that's out there. And, that's why I came on this platform to help my brothers out, and the Israelitas de Nuevo Pato, bro, They've been street teaching for quite some time. I never even knew nothing about them, right? And those are our
Yeah,
people.
exactly.
So for so-called Southern Kingdom to say, hey, where's Northern Kingdom at? You can't find them street teaching. Well, yes, you could. All right, yes, you could. But
before them.
we're not doing it for show. We're not doing it for money, for fame, right? They're doing it to wake up their people.
No.
Then you see what I'm saying? And now it's clicking, brother. It's clicking. They do it for show, to make money, to sell videos, to get subscribers. It shows. You know? And we're still doing
So
all
asking the
the
same question. He said, how did the so-called Northern Kingdom get to the Americas? You know what's funny about that question? And I always find it hilarious about people who ask that question. Hey, Charles, show me the Americas in the scripture. Show it to us. Show us any people, whether it's Japheth, Hamites, or Shemites in the Americas. Name a location in the Americas in the scripture, Charles. I guarantee you're not going to find it. But yet you read all through the scriptures, all locations in Africa. You read locations all in Europe. You read locations all even in Asia, right? Now he keeps asking the same question. How did we get over here? We got over here on ships. Now I know he's going to say, are you talking about 2nd Ezra 13? Right? See? The whole point is that, brother, I don't need 2nd Ezra 13 to prove how we got over here. I could use the Torah to show you that, brother.
Ooh, that's okay? 2 Samuel, bro.
No, exactly. Exactly. These people are asking questions that we've been answering for 3 years already. You're right. So left behind. It's funny. And he thinks that he's making points. Show us how you did it. Show us how you did it. Right? But let's talk about 2nd Ezra 13 real quick, right? Because they like to talk about verse 40 to 47, but yet like to ignore the whole chapter. Because first of all, in verse 1 and 2, Ezra's having this vision, right? About the man coming from where? The sea, the ocean. That is the context. About Northern Kingdom entering the ocean. Verse 40 through 47 just gives you a little bit of details. How they went through the narrow passages and things of that nature. How the Most High hid the flood until they entered the ocean. How do you find this out? Because they don't like to read the whole chapter. They like to listen to doctrines of men. Verse 1 talks about them entering the sea. Verse, 15 or 25, I believe it's 25, talks about the same thing about them entering the sea. Verse 50 talks about them entering the sea, right? Now, they always say the same thing. Well, where are the ships, right? Where are these ships? Let's go into the Torah. Let's answer these brothers real quick. Let's answer them.
Oh, you're gonna bring that big blade, bro.
We're gonna start daggering them. Matter of fact, before we go to Psalms, we're gonna answer Ezra. We're gonna answer Ezra, right? Because this is what you guys have to see, right? Precept upon precept, right? You guys are going to learn today.
Bring it out.
We're not dodging the question, bro. What are you talking about?
Yeah. We're gonna answer you with the scripture, not our vain opinions, right? Check this out. This is 2nd Ezra 13, and this is where the concept, and this is where they don't get the understanding, right? And it says, and it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there rose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof, right? In the sea. Now check this out. Then he starts, going off about his dream, but he doesn't get the understanding of the dream until what verse? Let's find out. The verse 25. This is the meaning of the vision, whereof thou sawest a man coming from the midst of the sea. Now the question becomes is, who is that man that is coming from the midst of the sea that Ezra's talking about, right? Let's go to the Torah and answer that. We're going to go to Zechariah chapter 10. Who is this man from the sea, right? That Ezra's talking about. Because again, Later on in the chapter, it mentions the 10 tribes. So we already know the 10 tribes is that man coming through the sea. And we're going to prove it in the Torah. Not my opinions, not my vain opinions, and things of that nature. Right? Zechariah. Zechariah. There you go. No, how's the last book of it?
Shalom, Yisrael. We're having issues again. Let me fix this real quick. My phone is dying, so give me a minute. I'm gonna recharge my phone. I'm gonna charge my phone, plug in my phone, so it doesn't die on us. So on and so forth. All right, Shalom.
All right, there.
Vega, you there?
Yeah, I'm there. You
Yeah,
hear me?
you about Zechariah chapter 10, I think.
Yes, we're on Zechariah chapter 10 for the brother Charles, right?
Zechariah chapter 10
Here we go.
for the brother
Here we go.
Charles.
The Most High don't want to hear it.
Here we go.
Here we go. You hear me now?
Yeah, okay, Shalom.
All right, all right.
Yeah,
Like
we're
I
good.
said, right? The midst of the sea. Sea means ocean. Oh, he said ocean. Show me the word ocean in the Torah right now, in the scriptures. You see how this is what I'm trying to tell you, how simple-minded these people are. The word ocean does not exist in the Bible, in the scriptures. Sea does. Okay, that's what it means. The sea is the ocean. For you simple-minded Canaanites. Now check this out. This is Zechariah. Remember, we just read we read in 2nd Ezra about the man coming from the sea, right? The man coming from the sea. We know that in the chapter, it starts talking about the 10 tribes. The 10 tribes being that man coming from the sea, right? This is Zechariah chapter 10. I'm going to start at verse 9 and read down. And it says, "And I will sow them among the people, and they shall remember me in far countries, and they shall live with their children and turn again. I will bring them again also out of the land of Egypt and gather them out of Assyria." Now, we all know that the 12 tribes came out of Egypt, correct? Everybody? Now, who came out of the Assyrian? Who came out of the Assyrian captivity?
Northern Kingdom.
Northern Kingdom, right? Look what it says, Charles. "I will bring them again out of the land of Egypt and gather them out of Assyria. I will bring them in the land of Gilead and Lebanon. A place shall not be found for them. And he shall pass through the sea." Who is the he there? Northern Kingdom. Northern Kingdom is that he that's going to pass through the sea after the Assyrian captivity. 12 tribes, wake up for Zion. Brother Charles. Zechariah 10 gives you the answer to 2nd Ezra 13 about the man coming through the sea. It is talking about the Northern Kingdom. Right? Now we're going to go into the Torah and read the same exact story in 2nd Ezra 13 in the Torah. Right? Like I said, I don't even need 2nd Ezra 13 to show ours rift, because this book is going to show you it, right? So we all know that the man from the sea is Northern Kingdom. A place, remember it says in Zechariah 10, that after the Assyrian captivity, a place was not found for the Northern Kingdom, so they entered the sea, right? Let's go to Psalms. We're going to go to the book of Psalms 106, I believe. And again, the funny part about this is that I already broke this down for folk 2 years ago for Jeremiah, Judah, and for Quinah, and they both couldn't answer me. They've been running like women for the past 2 years when I showed them and broke this down to them. Okay.
They have us blocked.
Yeah.
They have us blocked on Facebook.
Yeah, but this is Psalms 107, not 106. My fault. 107. We're going to get the context, right? The same thing that was said in Zechariah. How a place shall not be found for the northern kingdom, right? I'm going to start at verse 2 so we can get the context. It says, let the redeemed of the Lord say so, whom he have redeemed from the hand of the enemy, and gathered them out of the land, from the east and from the west and from the north and from the south. They wandered in the wilderness in a solitary way. They found no city to dwell in. So again, the context is who? About the northern kingdom. No place would be found for the northern kingdom after the Assyrian captivity. They can't say that this is talking about Judah because after the Babylonian captivity, Judah returned back to Israel. After the Persian captivity, Judah returned back to Israel. After the Greek captivity, New Testament, Christ in them are where? Where was Christ in them in? In Israel, in the land. Judah always returned back into Israel. But this right here says a place will not be found for them, just like the book of Zechariah said about the northern kingdom. So this is talking specifically about the northern kingdom. Now check this out. It's going to show you how we got to the Americas. This is verse 23. It says, they that go down to the sea in ships. Oh, ships. You guys always ask the question, where'd you guys get these ships to go to America? It says right here in the book of Psalms. But you guys don't read scripture. That's the whole point. You guys don't read scripture. You guys hate scripture. It says, they that go down in the sea in ships and do business in great waters, these see the work of the Lord and his wonders in the deep. For he commanded, look, the Lord, for he commanded and raiseth a stormy wind, which lifted up the waves thereof. They mount up to the heaven, and they go down to the depths. See, the ocean was going crazy. The waves were high as mountain and going down to the depths, slamming down, right? Their souls is melted because of trouble. Whose soul? The northern kingdom. They're in the oceans, in the sea. There was a big, basically like a storm. The waves were going crazy, and they were melted because of this trouble, right? They reel to and fro and stagger like drunken men, and they're at their wits' end. Then they cry unto the Lord in their trouble, and he bringeth them out of their distress. He maketh the storm a calm. Just like in 2nd Ezra, where he says he held still the flood. Did he not? Same thing being said in the book of Psalms. He maketh a storm a calm, so that the waves therefore are still. And here's the most powerful part. Then are they glad because they be quiet. So he, Yahweh, bringeth them, the northern kingdom, onto their desired haven. Just like you read in 2nd Ezra, it was the northern kingdom who wanted to get away from mankind, right? It was their decision to get away from mankind and go into Arzareth. Just like it says right here. So he, Yahweh, bringeth them onto their desired haven. Same thing has been saying right here in the book of Psalms that you read in 2nd Ezra 13 about the northern kingdom entering the sea in ships and how it was a stormy, wind and stuff like that. The waves were crashing up and down. And the Most High, they prayed to the Most High. He held still the waves until they got to their desired haven, which is the Americas. Because again, what these brothers don't understand is they think that the Most High only gave Israel the land of Israel to dwell at, which is false. The Most High prophesied to King David that he was going to give the children of Israel another land for them to be. Now check this out, right? This is in the book of 2 Samuel. Was there something? Or David? This is 2 Samuel chapter 7. This is 2 Samuel chapter 7. You can read this whole chapter, but we're going to get to the nitty gritty. First, we're going to find out who prophesied to King David. And it says, and it came to pass when the king sat in his house, and the Lord gave to him rest round about from all his enemies, that the king said unto Nathan, the prophet, see now, I dwell in a house of cedar, but the ark of God dwelleth within curtains. And Nathan said to the king, go, do all that is in thy heart, for the Lord is with thee. And it came to pass that night that the word of the Lord came unto Nathan, saying, go and tell my servant David, thus said the Lord. So Nathan was prophesying to King David from Yahweh, right? And this is what people don't understand. This is where we get a second land. It says in verse 10, moreover, I will appoint a place for my people Israel, and I will plant them, that they may dwell in a place of their own. Now, everybody on the panel, this is Nathan prophesying to King David. Where was King David at this time? What land was he at this time? Where was he at, people? Brother Issachar. Hello? Y'all brothers can hear me, right?
I can hear you. I just don't know the answer. Sorry.
No, where was King David dwelling at this point?
Certainly?
No, what land? What land? Remember, this is King David. What was King David the king of?
Oh my gosh, man, these stupid app, horrible.
Damn, you scared.
Shalom. Vega, are you there? Shalom, everybody. Shalom. Are you brother or no?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool.
You can hear me?
Your presentation, bro. Go ahead.
Okay, my fault. So yeah, like I said, at this point when Nathan is prophesying to King David, where was Israel at this time? They were in the land of Israel, correct? Right? King David was in the land of Israel.
144 soldados. Hold on, brother. Vega, hold on. Give me a minute. 144 soldados israelitas se llevó. Give me a minute. Vega, go ahead, bro. Just go ahead.
I can't hear you.
Again, we were talking about 2 Samuel chapter 7 about how Nathan was prophesying to King David, right? And again, King David was already where? Where was Nathan and King David and Israel at? They were in the land of Canaan, the land of Israel at this time. So in verse 10, where is this other land that the Most High told Nathan to tell David that Israel was going to get? And check this where it says. It says, moreover, I will appoint a place for my people Israel, and I will plant them, that they may dwell in a place of their own, and move no more. So again, what land is this? And according to, again, 2 Samuel 7, Israel is going to be in this land and not be moved from this land. This is why us natives have been over here. How long have we been over here for, Ayash?
A very long time.
A little bit over 2,000 years.
About 2,500 years. Just like Nathan prophesied to King David. So again, people get it confused, but Israel was prophesied to have another land other than Israel, and we will not be moved from here, just like 2 Samuel 7 says.
So we're not going back to Israel? This is the new
No, no,
Israel.
no, 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 no. Again, that's not talking about. No, I'm talking about the reason why we're still here in the Americas
Oh,
and we've
okay.
been over here for 2,500 years.
My apologies.
And this is why we're still over here. The Northern Kingdom.
All right.
I get
So we got the link on the comment section. 144 sellados y ramitas sellados. Brother, click the link. We'll bring you in peace. Shalom. What? You brothers there? Can you hear me or no? Vega, you there?
Again, he says our people don't understand. Our people do understand. Walter understands. Like I said, Ephraim understands. Everybody that's on the chat understands what I just broke down.
Yep.
Now again, we proved to you
Yep.
how we got over here on ships. You don't need a ship to go from Assyria to Africa. You can walk through there.
That one.
And it is specific. It'll take no damn year and a half to go to no damn Africa.
What I
All right, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, it actually takes a month and some days to walk from Assyria down to Africa. Shalom, brothers. Who is this? Shalom. Welcome to the live. I don't know. I think he signed out.
Oh, it's the same,
Are
brother.
you brothers there? Okay. Yeah. I was saying that, brothers, when you're going to Google Maps, go into Google Maps and type in Assyria, and then the destination will be Africa. Type it in. It only takes not even 2 months to walk from Assyria down to Africa. So it doesn't take a year and a half. And even if you add the logistical part of it, which is what? Stopping, pooping, and cooking, and going to the bathroom throughout that lapse of time between Assyria and Africa, it wouldn't even take 5 months, right? Because how many people came out of Egypt? I mean, how many people came out of the Assyrian Empire? Not many, because a lot of our people were killed off. So there was a small pocket of remnant of the tribes. So, and the interesting thing is that they put this in the movie. I don't know if you've seen that movie, Moana. In the movie Moana, when you have Moana, there's a scene where you have a lot of our people basically taking a voyage in the seas, like ships. You have like 10, 12, 15 ships that took a voyage from the other side of the world to this side of the world, which is, basically the Hawaiians are people as well. So on and so forth. So they put these things in the movie. There's a beautiful scene. You brothers got to watch that movie, Moana. Watch that movie, and in that movie, they're going to show you how our people basically took a voyage. Obviously, our people knew about navigation systems because King Solomon had a fleet even when he was our king back in the 900 years, 900 BC, or whatever, because he died in 938 BC. So when he was king, he had a fleet of ships and so on and so forth. So we came on the side of the world. So for these guys to say, how'd you guys say there's no sin in Esdras, even though Jose Vega went to Psalms 107, Zechariah chapter 10 verse 10 and down, and so on and so forth, and we proved it with 3 witnesses. What else do you need? You know what I'm saying? 2 Samuel chapter 7 is actually the dagger. That's the cherry on top of the cake. For those that don't understand, even when you read Psalms chapter 2 verse 9 or 10, it tells you that, the Most High said, ask anything you want, and I will give you the ends of the earth. This is the end of the earth right here, and it was given to David, like we read in 2 Samuel chapter 7. Ask me anything you want, and I will give you the ends of the earth. And that's what was given to David as an inheritance also. This side of the world, this is the land of Shem also. This is why we read in Zechariah, Zechariah when it says that the Most High sent, we were basically sent to the other side of to the land of shadowing with wings. The land shadowing with wings is North, Central, and South America. This is where our people is at. But Shalom Yashar, link on the comment section. Brothers that want to join in, just click the link and I'll bring you in.
This is funny. Here's Charles. Ours is America is one West doctrine. No, it's not. This is how stupid you are. If you look under the Jewish encyclopedia, it tells you that ours is the America. I could pull 5 books that shows you that ancient and modern scholars tell you that ours is the Americas. I could pull out so many sources showing you that ours is the America. It has nothing to do with no one West. It has to do with you not reading books and not studying. That's the whole point. Exactly.
Yep.
It said someone
Vicente
insulted.
Reina.
Exactly.
Vicente Reina, Shalom. 12 tribes, wake up, rise. I don't understand why you keep disagreeing with the scriptures. The scriptures just went out and we brought up more than
brother,
3
that's
witnesses.
the folk, bro. That's the folk idiot, bro. What are you talking? That's the folk guy.
Oh, that's the idiot? That's
the folk
Kunal?
idiot, bro. Yeah, that's not Quinal, the other dude that's making videos about me. He made like 5 videos on me this week alone. You know what I'm saying? Because
why don't you click? Hey, why don't you click the link, coward? Why don't you click the link and bring yourself in and actually debate thy cause like a man? Why don't you gird up your loins like a man and actually come in and debate thy cause instead of running your mouth on the keyboard like a girl? Come on in.
And they're not gonna like the fact that I'm gonna keep showing them how the Bible's an anti-black man's book. Like, you guys don't really want me to go there with y'all, man.
They don't want the big blades, bro. They don't want they don't want the big blades. This is why every single one of you avoid the ancient watchmen. You guys avoid it for the love of your life.
That's why it's a mess.
You guys hate the truth. You guys hate the scriptures. You guys hate the history. You guys hate archaeology. You guys hate the truth. You guys hate Torah. You break time and time again. But you're out here running your mouth. And the link is in the description area, and you're not a coward to come and click it. You're a lion, right?
Where's that at,
claim
brother?
to be the lions of Judah. You're a true lion of Judah. Go ahead and click the link. Go ahead and click the link. If you're actually an actual lion, you're an actual lion of Judah. Go ahead, click the link. Let's see who is the real lions here. Let's see who the real lions are. Go ahead, click the link. Click the link.
What page were you just pulling out, brother?
Did you read it?
No. What page?
Oh, you got it. All right.
I got it, bro. I got all books. That's what these people don't understand. We got books for days, man. We got all the little books too.
Right. It says back in the back, brother. It's actually page 4 from the back. All right. Canon as divided among the 12 tribes. You know.
Go ahead, tribal Judah. You want to be a tribal Judah? You want to be the lion? Go ahead. Bring yourself in instead of running your mouth on the keyboard. Go ahead, bring yourself in. Click the link. Be that man, right? You want to be that man? Hey, click the link. Go ahead. Click the link and speak peace, bro. Instead of running your mouth, typing 1,000 comments in all our videos. Go ahead, click the link. Click the link. Why doesn't everybody click the link? Why are you afraid of coming to the actual lion's den? This is what Jeremiah Judah copied the name. That's why they call themselves the lion. They
You see what he says? Come on, folk. See, that's the whole point. That's what he say. He don't want to come on here because he knows that they're gonna get chopped up and stuff like that. That's the whole point. He wants us to go on folk. No. We're going to. We challenge you guys to a debate on Sinetta's channel because I want to show the black community how to debunk you clowns, so they can come with the same. So we can teach them, so that your own people can smack you in the mouth, other than us. That's what I want to do. I have no interest in going on Canaanite platforms, so they could just overtalk you and mute you and stuff like that. That's not going to happen, buddy.
Mute you.
We'll set up a debate on Sinetta's channel, and we will debate the so-called black Hebrew Israelites on Sinetta's channel to teach the black community show them how the Bible is an anti-black man's book. So then we don't have to do the argument anymore. The Kemet community is gonna start smacking you in the mouth all the time. So we don't have to do it anymore.
Bro, and it's like, hold on, brother, and it's like Jeremiah Judah I was watching
It
YouTube
doesn't
teaching
discriminate, bro.
yesterday, last night. Yeah, hold on, brother. Just hold your peace.
When we
We'll
say,
let you
and
take in a
hold on,
minute.
when we
Welcome
say
to the light.
anti-black man's book, we're talking about African. We're not talking about black as in black people. East Indian, all of us range from brown to black. One real. We're not so
Yeah,
don't even come with that
yeah,
bullshit about
No,
skin color.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not about
if they
skin
want
color.
to,
It's about nationality. It's about Africans. It's about Hamites.
if they
That's the
want to
whole
serve
point.
Yahweh, let them serve Yahweh only.
Canaan cannot serve Yahweh,
They
brother.
can't serve
Canaan
it.
cannot serve
Exactly.
Yahweh. You know that. You're supposed to know those things
Zechariah
already.
chapter 14.
Canaan was supposed to be
You're doing it
destroyed.
against, you're
Hold
doing
on.
it against Yahweh.
Yeah.
But you
Canaan was supposed to be destroyed. Hold on.
you're
Real one. Hold on, brother.
categorizing a whole lot of people to one area, bro.
Brother, hold
That's what
on.
you're doing.
Oh my gosh, bro. This is why we don't want you on our life, bro. This is why you can't contain your own spirit, bro. We're saying that Canaan was never allowed to be left alive. This is why we read in Torah that the commandment was that they will be wiped out from off the face of the earth. As a matter of fact, Vega, go there. Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 16 and 17. Read that. Read that, because a lot of these guys that are Torah only claim to keep Torah, claim to be Torah only. They reject Christ, our high priest. Actually, they reject the highest priest of all under the order of Melchizedek. Condemn themselves. Are we gonna read why was Canaan not allowed?
Okay,
Anyways, mute your mic, brother.
Yeah, this is Deuteronomy chapter 20, right? I'm going to start at verse 15. It says, Thus thou shalt do unto all the cities which are far off from thee, which are not of the city of these nations. Now, the whole point about it, this chapter is talking about warfare. In the beginning of this chapter, It talks about how to deal with the Midianites and other nations that are all the other nations, and how
the surrounding nations.
Yeah, you're supposed to kill the males, and you can keep the females who are virgins and all the young and their cattle. You can read that in the beginning of this chapter. But we're going to talk about the Canaanites and what Yahweh commanded how to treat the Canaanites. This is verse 16. But of these cities, of these people, which Yahweh your God give thee for an inheritance, thou shalt save alive nothing that breatheth.
Nothing.
We were commanded to kill man, woman, child, and even their cattle.
This is why when a lot of brothers like real one, these Kwana Lawa students come in here and run their mouths to say, well, if they want to serve Yahweh, you're supposed to let them. Even though the Most High said, listen, Canaan is not allowed in the temple in the future. Which means what? Which means that they were not allowed in their temple at all since the start. Why? Because the commandment was, listen, Abraham was given the promise. Listen, the Amorite sin is going to establish itself in the land of Canaan for the past 400 years. When you come in, there's going to be an establishment of a lot of Canaanites, Amorites, Jebusites, Horites, Hittites, so on and so forth, already established in the land. What are you supposed to do with them? You're supposed to utterly destroy them all from off the face of the earth. Why? Because a lot of these Canaanites were an admixture between angelic and human beings. This is why they were supposed to be destroyed. They were not holy. They were part of the angelic fallen angel ones that were here prior to the times of Adam. And this is why you read in Genesis chapter 6, and also after the flood, when the sons of Bnei Elohim came down and mixed themselves in, they started doing genetic experiments, and a lot of these people came forth. This is why the Bible says that they're what? They're wiser than Daniel, meaning they're at a higher level of wisdom. This is why they're able to break our scriptures. This is why they're able to understand the mysteries. A lot of the mystery schools in Egypt, the Kemet understandings and knowledge, it's from them, because a lot of this knowledge was disclosed to the ancient ones back in ancient times, knowledge that was not supposed to be shared with the humans. And this is why they are, and this is what the Most High said, destroy them all. Wipe them off the face of the earth. So for a real one to come here and say, well, you're supposed to allow them to keep Torah. No, we're not. They're not. They're the bad nation. Them and Amalek, they're the bad nation. They were supposed to be utterly destroyed. And this is why we find them in prophecy in Zechariah 14,
Can I interject real quick, please?
Let's read it.
Yeah, go ahead, bring it up, bro. Hold on, brother. Don't
Okay,
interrupt.
this is a future prophecy, and again, it tells you the only nation who is not allowed to go into the Lord's house in the future are the Canaanites. People could try to deny it all you want, but you're going against Yahweh. This is Zechariah chapter 14, verse 20. It says, "And in that day shall there be upon the bells of the horses holiness unto Yahweh, and the pots in the Lord's house shall be like the bowls before the altar. Yea, every pot in Jerusalem and in Judah shall be holiness unto Yahweh of hosts. And all they that sacrifice shall come and take of them, and seeketh therein. And in that day there shall be no more the Canaanite in the house of Yahweh of hosts."
In that day, bro. In that day, why? Because they've been running their mouths for stealing people's stuff, stealing people's heritage, stealing people's cultures, teaching our book, teaching nonsense, helping our white men conquer our people, our nation, and so on and so forth. That's exactly what happened with the Mesoamerica. A lot of these Canaanites came with the white men because the Canaanites, because this, mute your mic, brother, mute your mic, because the Sidonians were well-known sailors of the ancient times, the best navigators of the seas. And this is why the show the white men where we were at, because they had already come on this other world to check us out. And so they told the white men, listen, the Shemites that we oppressed back in ancient times, in the times of the judges, during the times of Joshua, and the times of Moses, they're on the side of the world. They're in the Western Hemisphere. Let's go over there and rock their lives. And that's what happened. They came on this side. They conquered people. They subdue our people. A lot of these black Moors were given encomiendas. They were given land. They were put above the stars. They were put as emperors and kings above our people, which proves prophecy to say that the stranger that is among thee shall rise above thee very high, and you shall come very low. And that's exactly what happened during the conquest of 1492, when a lot of these Africans came on this other world to basically subdue, kill, and commit genocide and rape against our nation, But none of you understand those concepts. None of you are gonna learn that. None of you wanna learn that. Why? Because it goes against what you guys teach. And this is why real ones, clowns like this, dummies like this, don't want to understand. Now, we're not rejecting the nations, because the nations can be cleaved, can be grafted in. The nations can. But Canaan and Amalek, they're part of the bad nations, bro. I don't understand why you brothers keep feeling sorry for people. Look at what Amalek has done to the first. Look at what Canaanites have done. They have corrupted. They have corrupted us with their twerking, with their rap, and all this nonsense that are still going to today. And this is why our women keep, going to these guys, because they're the new thing today. That's it. And it's nothing new under the sun. People did it before. Our people are doing it again. And this is why we want to be a Kodash. Kodash. To be Kodash means to be separate, to be unique, not to deal with them. This is the commandment. And this is why our grandmas and our grandpas and our aunties and our uncles, what do they tell us? Do not marry a negro. Do not marry a Hamite. Why? Because that oral tradition has been passed down conscious of our people. We have that commandment in our heads. This is why we never understood why back in the day when I was little, bro. I was 12. When I was 12, I was courting an Afro-Mexican woman back home, and my grandpa was like, "Why are you doing? Don't mix with them." This and that. But I never understood, like, why you don't like them. I don't understand. Like, I'm in love with her. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So that's what happened even back in ancient times when Jacob, listen, go to my father's house, go to my people, the Shemites, and find a woman for Isaac. And that's what happened. Do not deal with Canaanites, so on and so forth. Obviously, our people are stubborn. They want to go. They want to love the enemy, just like our people have done over the past, 3,000 years since our Solomon in 938 BC. And that's what we're here now. We're listening to the same crap. Oh, well, if we want to keep the commandments, Let them, even though they're corrupting the whole thing. No, bro. They're done. They're out. We don't need them. We don't want to build with them. Just like this is the same attitude that people had during the times of Nehemiah. Nehemiah said, "Listen, you had a lot of these Arabs that came, Ishmaelites. You have a lot of these Philistines that came and said, 'Let us help you build your walls. We can help. Let us help. Let us help you out.' What did we say? We don't need it. We don't need your help. We're good. We're gonna do it on our own." And that's the attitude you're supposed to have. We have to do this on our own now and reconstruct the walls that are fallen and reconstruct everything that has been corrupted and tainted with lies.
You see that? Hold on.
And that's what we hear, man.
The truth comes out, everybody. Look, you a cracker, Ayos. You see that? See, this is what we read right there. But let us say you effing the N-word to him, right? Then what? He would love for us to say that, so he could put it on his little channel.
He told with a real
cracker. Your racist, spirit is exposing you, brother. Like we've been saying since the beginning.
Yep. Yeah. Shalom, everybody. Welcome to the live. Who is this? Shalom.
Oh, it's a real one again.
Real one. Shalom, brother. Welcome to the live again.
Hey, bro, I was just listening to you talk. I was like, fuck, I'm in the Vatican Church, bro. Hey, bro, for real.
Okay.
What? I'm going to tell you, bro, like, I already told you, bro, like, I don't agree with your doctrine, what you're teaching, bro. I'm telling you, bro.
That's good for you. That's good, because you hate Yahweh. That's why. You hate Yahweh. That's why.
No. Hold on. Let me explain, bro. Like, I don't do this colorism, bro. Stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Who wants to serve Yahweh and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm talking about. Why?
We just, again, see, stop allowing him to come on the feed, bro. Everybody just heard him say it has nothing to do with colorism. Nothing. Because again, there are light-skinned Hispanics, dark-skinned Hispanics. Light-skinned Arabs, dark-skinned Arabs. Light-skinned East Indians, dark-skinned East Indians. Has nothing to do with color, real one.
Come on.
We say this
right.
in
We've been saying
every
this for
single
quite some time.
video, but you on this dumb
we do it every time.
About letting some
we do it every single time. We say it every time, bro. We say it every time. There are Negro Israelites, there are Chinese-looking Israelites, there are white people-looking Israelites, so on and so forth. I mean, even the scriptures tells us that we're like the speckled bird. That means that we come in different shit and types. But our spirit, it's like you have a bunch of eggs. You have brown eggs and you have white eggs, right? They have different colors. But the actual essence of an egg is inside, and it's still what? Yellow, and the yolk is yellow, and la clara is white. You know what I'm saying? So even though our outside can be different shades and brown and textures and stuff, the essence of Jacob lies within ourselves because we are spirit before we are flesh.
Right.
And that's what our people are locked into. They're locked into carnalities. They're locked into melanin, this and that, and the third, and phenotypes. Like, well, let me see, you don't look, your phenotypes are not that of a Shemite. Well, our people were ethnically 12 different ethnicities since the start, so on and so forth. Right. So our people never looked like, we're not a homogeneous group of people, meaning we didn't look the same. Like everybody looked the same. We're not robots. We're 12 ethnicities from 4 different mothers.
Hey,
4 different mothers.
Hey, the proof of that, go to Genesis 35 real quick. Go to Genesis 35, verse, I believe, 10. It tells you that we're all different nations.
Right. But Shalom, who's in the live? Shalom, welcome to the live, bro.
Oh, Iron Lion. Shalom, Iron Lion.
I don't know. Shalom, brother. Welcome to the live. Introduce yourself. Tell us who you
35
are.
What?
Shalom, brother.
I believe 35, verse 10. Hold on, let me get there real quick.
And Yahweh said unto him, my name is
Jacob, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Read verse 10 and 11. Go ahead. Go ahead, brother. Read it.
And Yahweh said unto him, Thy name is Jacob. Thy name shall not be called anymore Jacob, but Israel. That's right. Shall be thy name. And he called his name Israel. Give me a second.
Read verse 11.
Slakia. Give me. Okay. And Yahweh said unto him, I am Yahweh Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall be of thee.
You see that right there? Did you see that right there? A nation and a company of nations, plural. Like Ayash was saying, we are all different nations, different tribes. We all carry different vibrations and things of that nature.
Khan. And kings shall come out of thy loins.
Right.
And who came out of Jacob's loins, people?
Raise kings.
The 12 tribes.
Right.
Exactly, all his 12 sons. So right there, it tells you that all 12 tribes are their own nation. We carry our own vibrations and things of that nature.
Yeah. Right.
That's right.
May I ask a question now?
Who's this?
Moses?
Oh, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, so when you said, I can't quote correctly, but you said the Canaanites are going to be utterly destroyed. Who's going to destroy them? Is that going to be the Father or us, the elected, the 1,044, the 144, sorry.
It's gonna be us, bro, because we read that in the book of Isaiah, chapter 62, I think, where it says that nation that don't want to serve, they will be utterly destroyed. It'll be done by us. Obviously, we read in Jeremiah 16:16 that right now is time, but there's gonna come a time where there's gonna be hunting time. As a matter of fact, go there, Jose Vega, go Jeremiah 16:16, I think that's what it says.
Are we going to receive powers or something? Or something?
Yeah, bro. Yep.
Oh,
yeah, there's we read that in what is it? I think I did a class, bro. I did a class on superpowers of our people.
How would you know if you're going to be the elect?
Got to endure to the end.
That's not up to us.
That's not our job, bro. That's not our job. Our job is to endure, right? That's what it says. That he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved. So that means that we're not saved right now, and that means that the process of between us and our salvation is the enduring the enduring period between now and then when the angels show up, the armies of the Most High show up, and our great commander and high priest and King Christ, when he shows up, that will be the time between now and then. That's the endurance that we have to do. This is the test right here.
So keep it.
You understand? So that's why it says that that shall endure until the end. The same shall be saved, right?
Right.
All right. Thank you.
This is Jeremiah 16, verse 16. It says, Behold, I will send them many fishers, saith Yahweh, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of every hole of the rocks.
You see that? So that's going into many. It goes in various levels because we're fishing the tribes. That's what we're called to do when Christ gave that the Great Commission to the tribes. He's like, listen, do not go into the land of the Samaritans and so on and so forth, but instead go into the lost sheep or the house of Israel. That was the Great Commission. That was the fishing. That's when the fishing time began. And a lot of people that study astrology, the movement of the stars, it began during the time of Pisces. During the time of the age of Pisces, that's when the fishing began, which is during what Christ said, which proves what Jose Vega and I have been saying, that Christ that fulfilled that prophecy in Hosea chapter 1, verse 10 or 9, when it says that the northern kingdom was divorced, right? But it was settled them that they're not a people of the Most High. But come a day when they will be said that you are the people of the Most High. Welcome back to the fold. Well, again with Christ during the time of Pisces, which is the fish. That's why many Christians symbolize Christ like what? With the fish. Why? Because he was the fisher. He's the one that began the regathering of the northern kingdom back into the fold. You
Fulfilling
understand?
Hosea
And
chapter
so
1.
that began exactly, and so that began during the time of Pisces. So that's the fishing time. But guess what? Once the fishing time is over, guess what's gonna happen? Hunting time. And the hunting time is not gonna be fun, bro, because it's gonna be our people being hunted as well, and our enemies being hunted down also. So from there, go to yeah, you there?
Yeah, drop the link. I guess another brother wants to come on.
What will be the best strategy to protect ourselves when the time comes?
Yahweh.
Should I repent? I tried. I don't know how to repent correctly, nor do I know how to pray correctly.
Or if you want to learn, brother, like I said, we have classes on it. But if you want to learn how to pray, go to the book of Matthew. I believe it's chapter 7. Christ teaches you how to pray.
Chapter 6.
Chapter 6. My fault. Chapter 6. Christ teaches you how to pray. Christ teaches you how to fast and things of that nature, brother.
Thank you.
Actually, you could go
and that actual prayer in Matthew 6, that actual prayer is giving you like a schematics. It's not saying that that's the prayer you're supposed to pray. No, it's a breakdown. It's actually a deeper breakdown when it says, when you pray to the Father. You see, and this is a cut for all Old Testament Israelites saying, well, you guys are praying to Christ. No, actually said Christ, he out of his mouth said it himself. You're supposed to pray to the Father, glory to the first. So when you read Matthew chapter 6, it actually gives you a breakdown on how to pray, but that's not the actual prayer. It actually gives you the schematic how to pray, how to break down an actual prayer. But we'll touch on that some other day. Let's see. I'm gonna drop the link. I'm gonna join in.
Real quick, brother. That's a good starting point, though. I pray 3 prayers every day. 3 or 4 times a day. I do Deuteronomy chapter 6, verses 4 through 5. I do the book of Numbers, chapter 6, verses 24 and 26, and then Matthew 6, verses 9 through 13. You can pray all 3 of those prayers any order. That's a good starting point.
Oh, okay. So
Right.
I was told that you're supposed to face east and then put your head against the floor and cover yourself. Is that correct?
It all depends where you're at in the world.
Not necessarily, bro, because exactly. Depending on where you are. If you're in China, you're supposed to face west because that's where the temple's at. You know what I'm saying? And also, like, there's various types of prayers. You can pray bowing your head down to the floor with your forehead touching the ground. You can pray standing up with your hands extended to the heavens. You can pray with your hands in front of yourself. There's actually various scriptures on that. Maybe we should do a class on prayer next time. Yeah, we'll do a prayer lesson next time, and we actually show you the various types of prayers that we get. So,
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You got it, brother.
Mm-hmm. Did you drop the link, Ayash? Yo, you can hear me, Shamar?
I put that food away.
You can hear me, other brother? Your brother? You can hear me? Shamar, we can't hear you.
You got a blanket?
Did you get a movie for her? I guess we gotta wait till Shamar gets back on.
Right. Mr. Carter wants to come in, huh? He wants to be bold like a lion.
No, he could, he could say his piece.
That's what it's for.
You know what I'm saying? I just hope he learned, he learned from the lesson, you know what I'm saying? He better not come with that KJV because it's going to get chopped up.
Shalom, shalom. Welcome back to the live. Let's see.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you, Rose.
Yeah, shalom, bro. You there?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna do a lesson of prayer too. But I mean, brothers don't. You brothers don't have to knock yourselves out, bro. Prayer is nothing more than a conversation with your Creator. It's like a conversation that you're having with your parents. When you have a conversation with your parents, you come in parents, right? Without any reservations. You tell them everything, bro, because they're your parents. You trust them, they trust you, they know who you are, you know who they are. And that's basically the relationship between the creation and their Creator. That's exactly what they're supposed to be. Brothers are not supposed to, be unsincere with your prayers. You're having a conversation with your Creator, with the one that created you. So it's an intimate one, and this is what Christ said. Listen, you're in prayer. Don't be like the hypocrites that are out in the street praying, like a lot of the Christians that go out in the street to be seen by men. What the Christ says, like, listen, when you pray, go into your closet, go into your room, do it in private, and have a conversation with the Creator. Why? Because a conversation is an intimate moment that you have with the Elohim. This is why a lot of Catholic priests copy that concept when you go into the confessions, right? When you go into the confessions, who are you confessing to? You are confessing to a father in private. You're having a conversation with a priest in private, confessing your sins. And that's where they took that concept, because that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to go into our rooms in secret and pray to the Father. That's the actual prayer that we're supposed to be doing. Not prayed out on the streets like the Pharisees were doing, just to be seen by men. Like, look at me, I know how to pray. I know how to intercede by fight against demons and stuff. No, bro, that you're supposed to be doing that in private.
To piggyback off of, can I piggyback off Shamar real quick?
Yeah, go, bro. Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 6 verse 7, right? And when you pray, do not keep on babbling like the pagans, for they think they will be heard because of their many words, right? So don't babble.
Basically, pray for this, meaning like to keep praying for the same things over and over again. First of all, Yahweh's not your personal genie, okay? Because at the end of the day, His will be done. And if what you want is not a part of His will, you can't get mad. You know what I'm saying?
All things are made for Him. That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, and then the whole thing about babbling, that scripture is actually going into El Rosario. What is El Rosario? El Rosario is nothing more than what? Babbling, basically repeating the same thing again and again. Santa María, Madre de Dios, ruega por nosotros los pecadores, ahora y en la hora en la muestra de nuestra mente. Santa María, it's the same thing over and over and over. That's El Rosario. That's the rosary that we pray back in the day when we were Catholic. Some of us were Catholic. Some of us grew up Catholic, which is the religion of our enemies. It was introduced to us by our enemies. So we have been rezando. Rezando means that, babbling. That's what our people did, and that's what our people are accustomed to do today.
That's
Santa
right.
María, Madre de Dios, ruega por nosotros los
My
nosotros
nana
pecadores
and my
ahora y
mom,
en la hora de nuestra
they had
muerte.
a lot of santitos, bro. In the room, my grandma's room, it was full of santitos, right? The big ones, right?
Yeah.
And if for any given reason, if one of the santitos broke, I remember my mom, they'll have me bury it in the backyard, you know. And you know why? También it was because now as I'm older, I understand. My grandfather, my mom's dad, bro, he was a Spaniard, 6 foot, blue eyes, blonde hair. I never met the vato. And my nana was from Chihuahua, Mexico, right? But and so yeah, Catholic. I was born so-called Catholic, right? But like you said, that's our captivity and all that.
Right.
Shamar, are you located in California?
No.
We talking.
Shamar, the one guy who's camping?
No, we're not, bro. No, not.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Where are you located?
I'm here in California, the Bay.
Where it's
Oh,
burning?
okay.
Yeah, it's not that bad no more, though.
Babylon is falling, huh? It's burning, bro. There were some fire tornadoes out there. I
Yeah.
heard.
There was a fire about like 2 miles away from I was. It's crazy.
As long as you keep your law, statute, commandments, little brother, Yahweh ain't gonna let nothing happen to you. You know what I'm saying? That's why this is so worth following your God. You see what I'm saying? He's our power, right? He's the power of the Israelites, brother. You know. The God of all gods, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Jose, I was thinking about getting that book you were saying, homie. The one that says the hope for Israel.
Hope of Israel by Manasseh ben Israel.
That's right. That's right. You know, on YouTube, there's so many other there's other vatos that make videos about that.
You there?
Shall I drop the link in the section for click on it. I'll bring in peace. What we teach, brothers already know what.
Sure. Shalom, brother.
Hey, Shalom, Mark.
Shalom, shalom. I was waiting for you, man. I know you texted me the other day.
Yeah, cause I wanted to ask some questions. Yeah. Cause I've been watching y'all videos. You know what I'm saying, and I've been checking certain things out. You know,
Yeah, go ahead.
like I've been doing research on the Gypsies being Israelites. You know, cause I actually been knew about that information a while back. You know, so yeah.
Yeah, so what question you have for us, brother?
Huh?
I said, so what question you have for us, brother?
All right. I'm just trying to figure out where to start. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, I know y'all guys did a video on Adam not being black.
All right, Shalom Yisrael. All right, man, we haven't. All right, Shalom, brother. You there? Anybody?
Yeah, there you go. All right. Yeah, I can hear you. Real one, we're not going to allow you on, brother. Every time you come on, you always call strife, brother, and you always being an accuser. And it's funny because every time you're on Judah's channel, you're over there kissing ass over there, but when you're over here, you always try to bring contention to your own brothers. So no, until you get that contentious spirit off of you, brother.
Ashar, I like he's coming in with a good spirit, man. For some reason.
Yeah, he was here. He was with us like 2-3 weeks ago. We were having a good
Spirit.
Yeah,
Shalom, brother.
Hey, shalom, man. Shalom. Yeah, so I mean, I have questions. I mean, I should have set it up. I should have been more prepared. But I'm just gonna go with the flow and ask y'all some things. Like I said, like I agree with some things, but I don't agree with certain things.
Ashar, brother. Before you ask your questions, do you watch our videos concerning the gypsies or no?
I didn't see the whole thing, but I already had knowledge prior to seeing you guys because can I just want to say this. I just want to say my background. I want to get straight to the
Hold
point.
on. Before you bring it out, Before you bring
Yeah.
it out, this is why we tell a lot of people that are gonna ask us questions about the gypsies again, because when everybody researches the concept or the information regarding the gypsies, every single individual that is going to do the research is going to hit a wall. And what is that wall? Well, that wall is gonna tell you that the gypsies are actually Hindu people. That's as far as you're gonna go, and that's the deception right there, because that is the deception right there. Because when you brothers actually, if you actually watch the whole class, we actually gonna show you how the gypsies actually go back to the Babylonians. How when they were in Babylon, they were in slavery in Babylon. They were freed by Cyrus and so on and so forth, the Persian king, and were free to go back to Jerusalem to rebuild. But a lot of people didn't go to Jerusalem; they went back to Egypt, and then from there they migrated to the eastward. In England, began the migration patterns. The gypsies going to the Byzantine Empire, and they turned around and started going westward to all the way to Spain, Iberia, and so on and so forth. And that's where you find the scattering of the Jews began then, like literally began being scattered to the four corners of the earth during the Inquisition and the Spaniard times, beginning of the 1400s. So, but go ahead, brother. What is your question?
All right, yeah, I just want to get straight to the point. Yeah, because I came from a One West camp at first. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, because I came from a One West camp myself. I was actually in GMS, Great Millstone, for a couple years. If y'all brothers don't know, I was with GMS for a couple years, and then after that, I did my own thing. I got kicked out, something stupid, but that's neither here nor there. But that was all set up because I wanted to leave that group anyway, because a lot of BS was going on. But that's neither here nor there. But then I started my own camp. and that's why you have the name
I can't hear
SRS.
nobody, bro. Can you brothers hear me or no?
You can't hear me, or can you hear me?
We can hear you. We can hear you, Shamar.
Okay, y'all can hear me though.
Yeah, we can hear
So
you. I can
basically,
hear you.
I started SRS, for a few years, and there was brothers in my camp, but then a couple brothers are not with me no more. Now I'm with one brother now. So me and him, we still chop it up. We still do our thing. We still congregate. You know what I'm saying? We just don't really go out like that no more because our schedule, But I still go out with another brother, but that's neither here nor there. But just to bring out the background, that just to introduce myself, because I didn't introduce myself. I didn't get a chance to really put my background out there, but that's pretty much my background, straight to the point. You know.
He's not GMS, people. The people in the chat saying
Yeah.
that you say you're GMS. You're not
Right. I
GMS.
was GMS. I was
You
GMS.
was.
I
You
was.
left it. That's
I
good.
was. But then I started my own camp, which was SRS. But now I'm just, I'm not out there like that no more. But I'm me and the brother, we still talk to each other. And now I link up with another brother, we go out, but I don't go out like as a camp. Like I don't promote the camp thing, like as you could say, if you know what I'm saying. Because that's just the title, Y'all have
Yeah,
these
yeah.
titles to separate yourselves, but SRS is just a title, just like Ancient Watchmen, just like FOPI, just like ISUBK, just like all these groups. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I could ask questions now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, so I know I seen that video on. Now I know Jeremiah 14:2. We've been taught that was talking about color. I realized that that's symbolic. That's not really talking about skin color.
Of course. Let's talk about us
Yeah,
going.
like yeah, because when you say I'm black, it don't necessarily have to be talking about skin color. Because when you say black, that means like I'm feeling black, like I'm feeling like that's a state of mourning.
Morning. Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, so basically, hold on a second. Hold on. Hold on a second.
He says, let him talk without bashing him. Vincent, we know this brother Ashar. We never bashed him. He's a friend on Facebook. He was on our live a few weeks ago. Oh, okay. You talk about the comment board. Okay. My
Yeah,
fault,
so
Vincent.
I'm back. So yeah, so I know y'all did a lesson on. I know the brother did a lesson on Adam, right?
Yeah.
Adam, and he said that because usually brothers say that, oh, Adam was dark skinned and all that, but so what did Adam would say look like then? So you mean to tell me that Adam, when they said that Adam was like,
who do you say Esau is?
Well, Esau, according to the scriptures and history, is a so-called white man.
That's what Adam was. Not necessarily white, but he was a light-skinned person. Because if you again, that word ruddy goes back into being rosy cheeks, or to show blood in the face. And in fact, what's funny, because the camps love this book, right?
Yeah.
It's out of the Bible dictionary. When you look up that word ruddy, right? Even according to their own book, let's go see what it says. Where is it?
But I mean, like, you could still be dark and show red too. Like, you could be brown and show red, like brown skin.
Well, it says to show blood in the face. Africans don't show blood in the face, brother.
Well, I mean, like darker people, like really dark skinned people now.
Okay, ready. Okay, check this out. This is under
like the lighter ones. You can see red.
Hold on. We're gonna read the Zonovan real quick, right? It says under ruddy. It says a word used to refer to a red or fair complexion. In contrast, what's contrast mean, brother?
Contrast The actual definition put me onto it.
meaning the opposite.
Oh, it's a difference. Okay.
Yes. In contrast to the dark skin of the Hebrews. So
Right,
what's
the
the,
dark
what's the
skin,
opposite
yes.
of dark? So what's the opposite of dark skin?
Light skin.
There you go.
So you mean to tell me Adam was light skinned, but did he have straight hair or woolly hair?
Adam was light skinned. David was light skinned, and Solomon was light skinned. Esau was light skinned because that same word in the Hebrew, ruddy, is the same word that you see in Genesis 25 to describe Adam, describe David, and describe King Solomon.
Okay, so you saying that Adam was a light skinned man? He wasn't dark.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
It was. I
All
would
right.
say again, like this is a topic a lot of brothers don't like. You know what I'm saying? Because the Bible
I
does.
know. I know. Yeah.
The Bible does teach about pre-Adamites, meaning people who were here before Adam.
Yeah, the Adamites, yes.